This is the Big O Show. 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 This is...
When protecting your family is your priority, there's nothing more important than a roof above the people you love. Call Tommy B. Butts Jr. Enterprises.com, 954-735-9826 or 954-394-1411 and ask to speak to Tommy, the owner. They specialize in all kinds of roofs, led by their highly crafted, skilled, and professional roof mechanics. All of their previous customers have an opportunity to enter their bi-weekly drawings to receive free an exterior impact metal door. Please call for more details. That's Tommy B. Butts Jr. Enterprises.com, 954-735-9826 or 954-394-1411. Trust Tommy to fortify and protect what's most important to you, your family. Wolfe & Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They're committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. At Wolfe & Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. Property damage claims to your home, business, or condo as a result of a hurricane, Wolfe & Rayom can help. Water, mold, fire, smoke damage, Wolfe & Rayom can help. Call 954-966-4646.
Doorbell camera. Now you have a front row seat to your house getting robbed.
They're breaking into my house!
Ooh, there goes the TV. I'm sure it'll turn up at the pawn shop.
No, not the TV!
Just because you can see them, that doesn't mean you can stop them. With Slogans, you get 24-hour monitoring, a free home security system, and professional installation. Plus, free doorbell camera, one that'll actually work for you.
Get out of my house!
Get out of the house! Call 1-800-ALARM-ME.
This is the Big O Show.
Sports fans love a place with great food, cold drinks, and TVs everywhere. That's why sports fans love Sports Grill and their 7 amazing locations. Check out the Bird Road location at 11481 Southwest 40th Street in the back corner of the West Bird Shopping Center. Sports Grill is also now offering some great employment opportunities. All kinds of positions are now available from kitchen to hosting. Call for more information at 305-485-8845. From wraps to salads to amazingly delicious specialty dishes, Sports Grill is the home to the legendary special grilled wings. Since 1987, Sports Grill, good food, good drink, and good friends.
It's the Big O Show. You're tuned in to the hottest sports radio.
When you need your warehouse looking good while staying efficient, there's only one place to find the finest racks in the business. Pallet Rack City in Hialeah. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547. Pallet Rack City is the company you need when you want your warehouse sporting the finest racks in the business. After all, who doesn't love a great rack? Pallet Rack City. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547.
Orlando, a.k.a. the Big O. He covers all the South Florida teams.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
Dolphins to the Heat, well, you know what I mean. Monday to Friday, Lollipop, blow in the...
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
Show on the radio, the top's where we gonna go. Miami, that's the way we roll.
Folks, you can support the hardest working sports talk show in South Florida through Cash App or Venmo. Just search Cash Big O Show. Support us through Cash App or Venmo. Cash Big O Show. We thank you for your incredible support.
On the morning show, we go. No one has a similar show. Talk sports, talk plays, talk.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
Live and direct, because nobody do it better than Big O in the set. From sunrise, listen live.
When you're ready to purchase a new home or refinance the one you have, American Dream Lending will make sure your loan experience is easy with fast approvals and quick closings. With many loan programs and competitive rates, now is the time to turn your dreams into reality. Ask about special financing for veterans. They never charge an application fee, and you will work directly with one of their experienced loan professionals. Stop dreaming and contact American Dream Lending today. 786-802-1727 or online at adreamlending.com. The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
The Big O Radio Show is brought to you by Caneswear. Go to caneswear.com, where all orders over $99 get free shipping. Sloman's Total Home Security. Protect your home with the best in the business. 1-800-ALARM-ME for the company serving America for nearly 100 years. 1-800-ALARM-ME. Tommy B. Butts Jr. Enterprises.com. Licensed roofing contractor. 100% financing is available. Go to Tommy B. Butts Jr. Enterprises.com.
The Big O Radio Show originates from the OK Coin Studios. Invest a little time and save big. Just set the recurring buy and pay, 0 transaction fee after your first purchase. The Big O Radio Show is mastered by executive producer Sean Stanley from the OK Coin Studios. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
It's B for Big O or Bitcoin. Yeah, Bitcoin. Woo! 43 this morning. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. I think this is it. I think that whole funk that we've been in for 3 months is over. Maybe 4 months, close to that, I think. Well, yeah, somewhere around there. And I think it's going to start to climb, baby. It was really nice to see. I mean, it's been doing it the last week. If you really look at what's been going, week and a half, it's been on the rise. But as I told you before, it's one of those where it's building, plateaus and then going up a little more and a little more. And I like that because that's very healthy and very positive. So it's a really good crypto morning for those of us out there that are following this thing and enjoying it. Love it, love it, love it. All right. I know everybody is awaiting the Armstead news to see what happens with Teron Armstead. Does he sign with the Miami Dolphins? We'll keep you updated on everything Armstead and everything Miami Dolphins. We've got our Twitter page up. So if anything breaks, I'll see it. Or obviously Sean Stanley, who is always on top of all this stuff, we'll see it. Somebody will notice it. Look, I just think it's a matter of time. And I got to tell you something. I like the quietness because there would be already talk. All right, he's leaving town, moving on. He's off to the next city, this, that. You're not hearing a lot. You're not hearing anything from anybody. So that kind of tells me that there's a lot of positives going on behind the scenes. And maybe they're about to agree to a deal, or maybe they have, and maybe he's going through physicals, or I don't know what it is. You know what I mean? But I just get a feeling that this thing is going to happen with Teron Armstead. And I'm pretty sure they know, they have to know, because and I know that what completes this entire free agent period is Teron Armstead. You add Teron Armstead and the free agency period is exceptional. Okay, I don't care what Joe Shad says. If he wants to give it a B, we love you, Joe, but we're giving it an A here. Okay, we're going A all the way. But you got to get Teron Armstead to get that A. You need the A to get the A. Get what I'm saying? So let's hope that that's the case here. And that's what's going to end up happening. And hopefully we'll get an Ian Rappaport, report, or who knows, Omar, Cam, Marcel, somebody might break something here and get something going. Who knows? We'll see. Gilbert Martinez, thank you, sir, for a little love on the super chat. Appreciate that as always. Thank you for supporting the program, however you do. Gilbert Martinez says, how do I invest in crypto? Well, sir, you have to open up an account. You could open up an account like at OKCoin or any other crypto service. I have links there that you can share $20 of Bitcoin for free. You'll get 10. I'll get 10, so you can get started. What's going to happen now is there's a lot of you that are going to ask me, hey, how do I get into it? And it's like, and now it's starting to pump, and it's still a good time, but it's like, why didn't I convince you when it was down? when everybody was negative and I kept telling you invest. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, it's like I'm telling you the good times. These are the times when everybody else is panicking. That's when you've got to go against the grain. And you've got to be strong about this. And so you had a chance to get Bitcoin at 34 and 35, and now it's up to 43 and 36 and 37 and 38, and it's up to 43 and 39 and 40, and now it's up to 43. And so, it's just one of those things, and it's just, I've been telling you, it's going to come back. And when it comes back, it's going to come back even stronger than ever. It's going to go to higher highs, and I don't think we'll ever see the 40s again, to be quite honest with you. Forget 30s. I don't think we'll see the 40s again once the next pump comes. When you see us past the last number of 65, which was the last high for Bitcoin, and it gets to 70 and 80, you'll never see the 40s again. Not the 30s, the 40s. You will never see it again. But that's what I'm trying to tell you. So you've got to be, you got to do your homework. You got to take the time to read the right places. Don't read the wrong places. That's the other thing about this. This is so new. Crypto is so new. Most of the media has zero clue on how to write about it, and they don't really understand it. And if you don't really see, here's the thing about crypto. If you don't invest in it, you can't talk about it, because the only way you're following it day to day, minute to minute, hour to hour, it's because you own, Bitcoin, Polygon, Ethereum, Monero, Cardano, whatever, you name it, Avalanche, whatever, Cosmos, because you follow it every day, you follow it every couple of hours, you follow it every week, whatever, but you have a sense. Like Cardano's up. No, actually, Cardano's not just up now. Yeah, it's up now, but have you watched Cardano the entire week? It's been going up, but that's because I own Cardano, so I know. You know what I'm saying? So that's the problem. Like, when we have like the smart asses come in, well, Bitcoin's going to go down to 20,000. And they know nothing because they don't invest in it. They don't know anything about it. They don't understand it. They just hear another tool say something and then they repeat it. And that's what happens. So be very careful where you read about crypto. And as I've told you guys many times, here's a nice beginner's course. Go to Cryptos Are Us. Cryptos are the letter R and us.com is the website. They write responsible there. Cointelegraph, they write responsible there. And by the way, crypto.com, Cryptos Are Us, I'm sorry. George is an Asian guy. He does 2 or 3 hits a day. Very, very logical. Benjamin Cohen, a redheaded guy, short hair. He'll start it with, thanks for stepping back into the cryptoverse. When you see him, check him out daily. He does a great job with technical analysis. George doesn't do technical analysis. He'll show you some technical analysis, but he doesn't live off of technical analysis. I don't live off technical analysis. I have a buddy of mine that I talk to all the time, and he's married to technical analysis, and I am not, because the world dictates sometimes how things run. Real estate, gas, crypto, stocks, it doesn't matter. If you have a pandemic, it affects it. Technical analysis is not going to be able to figure that in. If you have a war, technical analysis can't figure that in. If you have a bunch of people blocking the entrance between Canada and Michigan, that's not going to count into technical analysis. So there's a lot of things that never go into technical analysis, like the fact that there aren't a lot of there's more institutional money now than there was a year ago, 3 years ago, 8 years ago. So when they tell you about these 4-year cycles, those things are over. I've been telling people about 4-year cycles over for a year now, because there's no way there's any cycles anymore, because it's just like it's a digital stock market. It's no longer living off of retail. Retail is you and me, the average Joe, not living off of that anymore. Institutional money is in. Big money is in, because the smart money is in. And that's why I kept telling you throughout the whole dips here that institutional money's buying. The reserves are drying up from Bitcoin and Ethereum. Why? Because smart people are scooping it up, because they know what's going to happen. And I've been telling you for a while now. And here it goes. And it's going to happen. I think this is the one now. I think this is finally the response that we've been waiting for, and here's the big pump. So there you go. But that's a good way to start. okay, to learn about crypto. And if you don't have patience, don't get into crypto. I've told you this many, many times. You must have balls, guts, brass ones, chutzpah, toughness. You've got to be confident in what you're doing. If not, don't do it. If you're going to panic, if you're not going to have patience, then don't do it. If you think it's because you want to invest now and get rich in a month, don't do it. Save yourself the money. Go enjoy the movies. Go buy some weed. Go enjoy a drink or two. Go get laid. Use your money. Go on vacation. Pay for your kids' college fund. Do something other than invest in crypto. Okay? So if you don't have patience and toughness to kind of hang in there, like when these dips are going on, instead of, oh my God, I got to sell because I don't want to lose anymore. No, no, no. The reverse is, no, I buy more to lower my overall price. So then when it reverses, because I am confident it will, I will then make even more money. But a lot of people don't have that. And they panic and they sell and they'd rather just lose the money and get out. And they don't realize what they just did. So those are my tips for you on that. Okay. So just be patient. Be patient. By the way, OK Coin just added Cadena. And Mandy Campbell talked about it last week. And it's on there right now. It's not ready to be sold yet. But I don't know. Any minute now, any hour now, it'll be ready to be sold. I cannot wait. Cadena is a layer one. It's a New York based company. A group of Americans put this together, which I'm really excited for them. But they've found a way to scale in layer one, and they use kind of the Bitcoin format, but they've been able to they have been able to tweak it in a way that they can scale even way faster than Bitcoin. And so that's something that's really creative on their part, as a layer one, to be able to scale, because most companies have to go to layer two. That's what Ethereum is doing now, and adding layer two. And, once Ethereum has layer two going, oh my God, Ethereum is going to explode. And we've been telling you about this for over a year now, about Ethereum and layer two. And so, layer twos are able to scale a lot faster. But Cadena is one of those that has figured out a way, and I'm excited for them because they're an American company too, on top of all of that. And this thing was like at $15-$18, if I remember correctly, and it's down to $6. It was even lower. But I had no way of buying it except for Gate.io, and I just don't want to do it that way. So I was waiting for an exchange that I usually use to get it, and now OK Coin has picked up on it. And I am going to load up on Cadena once it becomes available today at some point. Once it says I can buy it, I am going to load up a little bit on Cadena, because I really like that one. Again, long term, you must be patient. Look, Star Atlas. Man, Star Atlas. You know how much I got? I got Star Atlas at 9 and 11 cents, and it went all the way up to 19, 21 cents, right? Then it's down at 2 now. Do you think I sold? No, I loaded up at 2 and 3 and 4 cents. Loaded about 5 times the amount that I had at 9, 10, 11 cents. Why? Because I wanted to lower my overall price. And Star Atlas isn't going to be worth anything until about a year from now. A year from now is when it's going to explode, and everybody's going to get on it. And we were on it for over a year, and waiting in the weeds, because it's going to start going up again, and then you'll never get it at these prices again where it's been. And you can get Star Atlas also at OK Coin. Adam Outdoor Bushcraft says, appreciate your show, listening from Southwest Michigan. Huge Miami Dolphin fan since '84. Thank you, Adam. I appreciate you, my man. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir. And thank you for the super chat. Very nice of you. GP Trap Hewitt says, good morning, Big O. Oh, my God, Big O. We got Claude Giroux. Right, Giroux, right? Giroux. Say it, Big O. Say it. Woo! I'll say it even better. Where's my stuff here? I mean, because GP Trap is like a monster Panther fan, right? So in your honor, GP Trap, all right? In your honor, Got it. We got our goal light, baby. So there you go, GP Trap. Huh? They are monsters, man. I got to tell you, Bill Zito is the man, dude. He is the freaking man. You got to love Bill Zito, man. He is awesome. Absolutely awesome. Big O, according to some research out there, from what I also am seeing, the usual 4-year having has been invalidated. This thing is going up from here because, Robert, there's 4 years ago, there wasn't the financial money, the institutional money in crypto. Now there is. Now it's JP Morgan and all these people, ARK Investments. All these people are investing. Saylor, all these people have bought billions and billions in Bitcoin, and more are buying it. And countries are now in the middle of like 3 countries over the last couple of days want to make it their legal tender. It's coming. It's the inevitable. Keep telling you this. It's going to explode, man. That coin is going to be worth $500,000 in a couple of years, and it'll get up to $1 million eventually. It's the way it is. There's only 21 million Bitcoins that are going to be mined. A couple million have already been lost. So there's really going to be about 18 million coins when it's all mined by 2040. Right now, you've got about a little under 2 million coins left to mine. And it's supposed to be done, most of it by 2030, but all of it by 2040, okay? There'll be like 1 or 2% left. They'll slowly be mined in the final 10 years. Not a lot of them, but they will be mined. And then that's it. It's over. Think about it. There's 8 billion people on the planet. If you own 1 Bitcoin, oh, God. So for those people that own all kinds of Bitcoins, oh, man, those people are going to be living large. But if any of you can find a way to own 1 Bitcoin, you're going to set your kids up for life. Okay? You're going to set them up that they're going to go buy their own horn. All right. That horn just got me kicked out of the library. That's funny. That was good. Big O, I know you got some chain link. No, you know what? I don't have chain link. I don't have Avalanche. I don't have Solana. There's a bunch of good coins that I don't have. I'm not rich, man. I'm a blue collar guy. So no, I don't have Chainlink, and I like Chainlink. Chainlink is very, very important, dude. So yes, that's a great investment on your part. Can't have them all, my brother. You know, there's several coins that I like a lot, and I have not been able to invest in them. And so yeah, it's just one of those things. John Hartman says hello from St. Louis. Let's sign a lineman today. John, I think you'll get your news, man. Unless he fails unless he fails a physical, unless there's something wrong with that knee, John, that they say, oh, we can't sign you. Sorry. Now, I will say this. No, I'm told that there were some concerns in New Orleans about they wanted him badly back. Don't get me wrong now, but they were a little worried about the physical in the knee. So they weren't sure where it was at. You know what I mean? Because he's missed games. So that's the thing. That knee's got to check out. If that knee checks out, then hopefully you can get a couple of years out of him, groom the next guy in place, and then and then move on. And again, DF, I'm sorry if I got you kicked out of the library. By the way, who goes to you're going to a library? Wow. The internet's there. That's odd. Caddyshack says, thanks, Big O. And Sean, I'm awake now. Greater Good says, the best South Florida sports talk show. Thank you. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate you. Carol City 305, don't overspend for Teron Armstead. He's a stopgap player. Trade for Laramie Tunsil or sign a stopgap left tackle and draft one. That all sounds well and good, but you have to be able, you're talking fantasy, Carol City. I love when fans are like, no, don't do that. Trade for Tunsil. Well, how do you know Tunsil's available? Do you hear anybody making offers? Because that's what, after all the reports and all of that, no one is talking with the Texans and Tunsil. And they've tried to trade everything in sight. So maybe they're not trading him. So that's fantasy. You're making something out, and I haven't heard one report that anybody's trying to trade Laramie Tunsil. That was just stuff that's out there. And that's the problem, that we kind of sometimes we use this stuff that's out there and we make it gospel when it's not even true. So now all of a sudden, Carol City 305, you're blaming the Dolphins for an option that they don't have. Because I'm with you. I would trade my 29th pick for Tunsil. But how do you know they don't want more than the 29th pick? How do you know they're not even offering Laramie Tunsil? How do you know maybe they've decided we're keeping Tunsil? The fact is, Schefter, Pelissero, our guy Ian Rappaport, Garofolo, nobody's reporting that anybody's negotiating with the Texans for Tunsil. So, fantasy trades? You know, if you guys are going to throw stuff out there, at least have substance behind it. And then if you're going to get pissed at your own team for something, get pissed at them for something that they really could have done. Not sit there and tell your boys, no, they're idiots. They could have traded for Tunsil. No, you're a liar. They couldn't have traded for Tunsil because nobody's trading for Tunsil. Brian says they redid Tunsil's deal. He's going nowhere. No, but according to Carol City 305, Tunsil's an option. In his fantasy world, in his Oliver Stone mind, okay, he's created an option. So now all of a sudden, the Dolphins, Chris Greer's a jerk. He could have traded for Tunsil. That's Carol City 305. That's the problem with fans. They create shit in their heads that doesn't even exist. And then they use that as an argument. Armstead is deciding to go where the Cuban sandwich stays with a New Orleans jambalaya. Oh, man. Thank you, Tony. Appreciate it, man. Now, Teddy Bridgewater. Let's wait a minute. Who do we have Cam Wolfe at 10:30. Okay. So Teddy Bridgewater addressed the meteors and stayed away from the whole quarterback competition thing. And let me explain how I understood everything that went on. Look, it didn't matter who it was. Those of you that don't believe in Tua, you're going to create your own competition, right? Those of you that are not Tua believers, you're going to all of a sudden create a competition with Teddy Bridgewater when there really isn't a competition. And then the funny part is, I love the Teddy Bridgewater pickup, but I love him in a role that he's supposed to be in, a backup quarterback. And that's the problem with some of you out there, since you really don't watch football. You only watch the Dolphins, and maybe you'll watch a Sunday night or a Monday night game or a Thursday night game, but you really don't watch the league. So you didn't really watch Teddy Bridgewater every week with the Vikings, and every week with Minnesota. With Minnesota, and every week with New Orleans and all of that. Like people say, well, he went 5-0 with New Orleans. Yeah, and he also threw 9 touchdowns in those 5 games because he could never have an explosive offense with Teddy Bridgewater because he's not an explosive player in any stretch. Never has been, never will be. But some of you will fill your heads up with a bunch of shit, like somehow or another, he's going to be the second coming, which he's never been. And I love Teddy Bridgewater. Great young man. You want your daughter to marry him. You want him to be representing your company. You want to be associated with Teddy Bridgewater. You just don't want him as a starting quarterback in the NFL. But the problem is with most of you is you live in South Florida. You have love for the South Florida kid. You didn't really watch him every day or every week in other games on other teams. So you don't really know how limited he really is. He's a great young man. He's not going to make mistakes. He's going to try to complete as many passes as possible. But he will never, ever, ever, ever be part of an offense that can be explosive because he has no explosiveness in him. But some of you will want to create some kind of competition that doesn't really exist. And yesterday, Teddy Bridgewater addressed it the smart way. 1, he didn't want to create controversy by starting anything. 2, he's still a professional, and he doesn't want to demean himself by calling himself a backup quarterback, which is what he is. Will he get a chance to start if Tua falters? Of course. There's no doubt in my mind that that's what would happen. Do I expect Tua to falter? Hell no. But you can create whatever you want in your mind. But let me educate most of you, since most of you don't know jack shit about Teddy Bridgewater. Okay? If Teddy Bridgewater becomes your starter, the season is over. Understand that. You will need the 72 Dolphins. You will need the 91 Giants. You will need the 2001 Bucks. The 2001 Ravens, 2003 Bucks, right? Something like that. You're going to need the Doomsday defense, the Steel Curtain. You're going to need some of the more special teams in the history of time to be able to win with Teddy Bridgewater. Okay? So create whatever narrative you want in your mind. Create whatever false narrative you want in your mind. Create whatever agenda you want in your mind. Or create whatever memory you think Teddy Bridgewater is. Because you really didn't watch him. You didn't watch him in Minnesota when he started a whole season. And the whole season produced 14 touchdowns and 12 interceptions. And another season, 14 touchdowns and 9 interceptions. Never explosive. Because he can't be. He never will be. Because unfortunately, they did not gift him from the heavens with enough talent to be that at the NFL level. He's an exceptional backup. His mind is elite. If he had the talent, he would be an elite quarterback. He would have never been traded from Minnesota, and he would have been their permanent starter and retired and gone into their Ring of Honor and maybe even a Hall of Fame. But that talent was not there. It's never been there. It never has been there. It never will be there. So create whatever bullshit you want in your mind. Invent whatever you want in your mind because of your dislike or disbelief in Tua. And you'll fall flat on your face again. You know, I'm starting to understand something here that's developed over the last 10, 15 years and over the last 12 years, 13 years, something like that. And it's going to be funny, and I'm going to have a field day with some of you out there. Because in the end, when I watch Tua in the next year or two here develop into the franchise quarterback and end up winning people over, I'm going to go after some of you that I specifically know that thought Tannehill could play and Tua couldn't. And I can't wait to have a field day with some of you out there. Oh, my God. So when Tua starts balling out, there will be certain people that will be called out in the media, publicly, all kinds of stuff on this show. And I will be using you as my rag doll for years to come. It won't be a weak thing. It'll be something that I will use, and I will use it, and I will use it heavily on this show. And I'm going to have fun with a lot of you out there, because I've noticed a trend that there's some of you out there, some of you even played football at the highest level, and you thought Tannehill could play and Tua couldn't. And my Lord, am I going to have a field day with you people. Okay? I'm going to have a field day with those of you out there. Anyway, 855-912-1056. That's the number if you want to get in on the Welt and Rayom text line, 855-912-1056. And I just gave you ammo, too, because you're going to have a friend that thought Tannehill could play and Tua couldn't. So just put it in your back pocket. Like crypto. Patient. Wait for it to grow. Let it explode. And when it explodes, unleash the Kraken. That's it. That's all. Unleash the Kraken on them. And your buddy's not going to be able to say anything. You're going to come at him and say, dude, shut up. You thought Tannehill could play and Tua couldn't. Don't talk about quarterbacks anymore. Okay? So we'll be having fun in the next year or two after Tua busts out. Brooklyn Rob, thank you, sir. For a little love in the super chat, he says, good morning, Big O and Sean. Picked up a bunch of Cardano at 78. Thanks for the advice. Here's a TP for the tip. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Cardano is amazing. And I hope you're staking it too. That way your money's working for you at the same time. Because while Cardano has floundered pretty much throughout the year, even though it had its peak for a moment and then it came back down, I've been earning interest the entire time. You know what I mean? And it's just like Bitcoin. When Bitcoin goes sideways, that's fine. I'm earning 6.5%. Ethereum going sideways, fine. I'm earning 6.5%. Polkadot going sideways, I'm earning 12.5%. Polygon going sideways, I'm good. I'm earning 12.5%. So I'm always making money either way. That's the idea with crypto. Once you learn and you understand the buying and the selling, the staking, the yield farming, the different DeFi projects you can take advantage of. There are so many different ways to create more income for you. And that's what people don't understand. But they'll learn. They'll eventually learn. The world will learn. We're just a little ahead of the curve right now on all of this. That's why less than 5% of the world actually knows about crypto. But they will. You all will, because you will have no choice. You will live your life with it. You have to. Okay? That will be your currency. When it's all said and done, you'll use it. You'll see. All right, let's get ready for our KSDT Miami Dolphins and NFL report with the man, the myth, the legend that is Cameron Wolfe.
We unleash the Wolf Pack as we get the latest in the NFL and the Miami Dolphins with our KSDT CPA Pro Football Report with NFL Network insider Cameron Wolfe. KSDT is one of South Florida's largest and one of the country's fastest growing accounting firms. KSDT CPA is a full-service firm that also excels in crypto. Visit them at ksdtcpa.com or call 305-670-3370. Here's NFL insider Cameron Wolfe.
All right, we are back. We're back. You're in a hotel room or something?
I am. Yeah, sorry. It looks like I'm trapped in the at a hostage music video. Yeah, I'm in a hotel room.
Yeah, you just got to close the damn shade in the back so we don't get the light coming off of you. That's the thing. That way you look better.
Well, I was trying to.
How's it? No, not that one doesn't cover the sun, Cam. What the hell's wrong with you? There you go. See?
This is why you're excellent. This is why you're excellent at on-camera producing. I opened up the shade because I thought it would give light.
Dude, you're the TV guy, not me. You're the TV guy, not me. Okay,
hey man, I'm
accidentally on TV here on YouTube torturing people with this face. You're a beautiful guy. You're a GQ guy. You look good. That's why you're on NFL Network. You know what I mean?
This is why you see the people behind the scenes get paid what they get paid, because they tell me what to do, and I do it, and it's easy for me.
Okay, that's how I walk around in life. I just say, well, thank my wife. She did it.
Exactly. My wife, even when I shoot stuff from home, she'll tell me, hey, I don't like that angle. Switch it up. And guess what I do? I say, okay, and do it.
Of course. Of course. Because the frustrating part is the wife is always right, dude. It sucks. Right. You're like, you try to fight it, but you'll never win that battle, bro. You'll just never win that battle.
Nope.
All right, Cam. I started the show by saying the quietness is a good thing. I think the fact that we're not hearing, well, he's getting ready to go to his next stop, this, that. It's been very, very quiet on both sides. Nobody's reporting anything right now. I kind of feel like there must be some progress being made behind the scenes with the Dolphins and Armstead.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's been asking me what a Teron Armstead update. Trust me, if I had a significant update, I would that I could share, I would definitely share it. I know that he did get into Miami and met with the team yesterday, and that's what we know at this point. I was doing Jackson State's pro day yesterday, so I wasn't tapped in with a lot of people I know there, but I don't think there's anything that as far as a deal done at this point. But like you said, you usually hear if he's moving on to another team, if nothing needed to be done. One thing that maybe makes his situation a little different than most free agents is there's a medical component there. So there's a lot more that needs to be checked on with him because he's had a lot of injuries. He's coming off a knee surgery that he just had surgery on. So he's still in the rehab portion. So a part of the meeting was to check on his medicals as well. So maybe that takes a little longer. Maybe that complicates things. But overall, I do think
it might complicate. By the way, Cam, explain also that maybe they still want him, but it could complicate the language that you're trying to through.
Absolutely, because you got to look at it this way, right? Teron Armstead was top 5 free agent coming in, definitely the number 1 offensive lineman, right? So he's going to want game-changing money. But also on the other side of things, he's 31 years old with a notable injury history. So there's a balance of it. Although you're going to have to pay this guy a lot, how do you protect yourself? So I think that'll be important if the Dolphins get a deal done. You can't guarantee this dude 3-4 years without any type of contingency regarding his injuries, given his history. So I think that'll definitely be an element with this. I reported this early in the process. He had a desire to go back to New Orleans if Deshaun Watson got traded there. Obviously, he wasn't traded there. So then that opens the door. So he slowed down the market while he was waiting for Watson. And now essentially he has to restart that market because all the teams he told, hold on, are now restarting. So the Dolphins were at the front of that line. And obviously they made him believe that they're in enough, whether it's an offer or whether interest, to come visit.
They wanted him more than any free agent.
Absolutely, they badly wanted him, and you don't typically bring a guy into a visit unless you've already told his agent what you're willing to pay him, even if it's not a form offer, and the agent's like, okay, that's in the ballpark. So I think that they're very comfortable with what he would do for their offensive line. They're definitely comfortable giving up a significant amount of money. It's just, can they close the deal? So I'd expect some sort of decision today, tomorrow at the latest. I don't think this thing is going to linger much longer. But that's probably all I have for you at this point on Armstead.
Somebody in New Orleans told me that they were a little nervous about his knee, and they wanted him badly,
right?
But they really wanted to check that knee out. If anything, that was the only concern that they had, was to recheck that knee thoroughly to make sure that was, because a guy like that, even if it's a little shady, they'll take a chance with guys like that because they're character people. And so it's, sometimes there's a little leeway with certain guys. You know what I mean? if they've been character guys. If you're a shady dude that's been lazy and all that, and you're dealing with some kind of injury, they're going to go, nah, we're not. No, this guy doesn't take rehab serious like the game. They love the guys that take the rehab as serious as the game.
Right. And I know for a fact he's already started to try to do some on-field stuff. He started to do some pass sets recently. So he's trying to get back to where he is. Like, he's probably a guy who you wouldn't, if they signed him, you wouldn't see do a lot of OTAs or minicamp. But he's also 31 years old. You don't really need to see him. Like, you sign him because you put him on the left side of the offensive line and you don't worry about him. Right. If he's playing, you don't worry about him. He's locked up that side of the field. So I think that the knee is definitely something that's a concern for people. What's also interesting is that every medical staff views it in a different way. So, you remember you go through this with the Drew Brees situation, right? So somebody views Drew Brees' arm this way. Another team says it's good.
You know a little bit of the inside story on that one.
Right.
Aaron Brooks was a quarterback that Green Bay traded to New Orleans, and they had him for a couple of years. And Aaron was a very athletic quarterback, had a whip of an arm, wasn't the most accurate kid, but he was one of those guys that had his moments. In other words, he was decent. And he ended up having a shoulder injury that was not exactly like Brees, but similar to it. Right. And so the New Orleans doctors had experience with the shoulder, whereas the Miami doctors did not. Right. So in that Brees situation, when both were looking at it, both had different views, like you were talking about. And why? New Orleans had already gone through it with Aaron Brooks. Yep. Miami had never gone through it at all. So they had trepidations, whereas New Orleans said, no, we can work at it. We did it with Aaron Brooks. We can do it with Drew Brees. And the rest is history.
Right. And the interesting part about that, I didn't know that story. So that's a good share, because I did not know the Aaron Brooks element of
I'm old.
Drew Brees.
I've been around a little while. So, yeah.
But mentioning that, we have New Orleans and Miami again, and there are other teams in the mix too, that want that left tackle position. I know Chicago is one of them. But I think it's interesting with New Orleans is this is a team that has drafted him, has had him for 10 years. So they know good or bad how they feel about that knee. So it could be a situation where it's the opposite, where New Orleans believes, hey, his knee is shot. Like, I'm not saying they do, but I'm saying it could be a situation where they say, hey, we don't think he has more than a year or two left, so we're only willing to go to this number. Whereas Miami may be taking a little bit more of a risk and saying, hey, we need an offensive lineman. We need a left tackle. We think this is the best guy. And we'll pay him maybe an extra year of guaranteed money, even though we're not sure, because we need to get this guy. So I think it's going to be interesting to see how it evolves. But the fact that he is visiting Miami, like we saw La'el Collins do with Cincinnati, means that they're the favorites at this point to land him unless something changes.
Yeah, I wasn't that, oh my God, you got to have La'el Collins. The knucklehead stuff scares the crap out.
Teron Armstead is significantly better of a player. Before you get to
and here, bro. I mean, come on, let's just call it. He's not dodging drug tests, bro.
I get you. I try my best not to judge off field.
No, I get that. I get you.
I haven't seen his medical reports, and I haven't met the kid, so I don't want to tell you.
One guy dodged drug tests, and the other guy didn't. Those are the facts. I can't. For whatever reason, okay, La'el Collins dodged multiple drug tests.
But I'll tell you this. You know who else dodged drug tests and failed drug tests? Von Miller. And I know Von Miller. Von Miller's not a bad guy. I didn't say, just because by the way, just because you failed or drug test doesn't mean you're a bad guy. Right.
Just means
or
you're
even a trouble guy. Sometimes when you're younger, you make mistakes.
Things. Yeah.
So
well, I'm not saying bad guy. I said knucklehead.
Yeah.
I didn't say bad guy. I said knucklehead. Okay. There's a difference. Michael Beasley was a knucklehead, never a bad guy.
Right.
A knucklehead. That's all. Smoked a little too much weed, got himself in a little too much trouble, whatever. But he wasn't a bad dude. He just did knuckleheaded things.
By the way, Michael Beasley did an interview. I'm not sure if you saw it on the Pivot podcast with Ryan Clark and Shannon Crowder and Fred Taylor. That was really good. He kind of shared the insight of what his life has been after basketball. And he sounds like he's in a rough place, which, a lot of times we see the playing career and you see, like you said, some of his troubles, him dealing with drugs, him not playing well. And you're like, oh man, this dude's, just discard him, but you don't realize just kind of what a guy is dealing with depression wise after life. So I thought that was
Lamar Odom, dude. Lamar
Yeah.
Odom, great guy,
right.
super cool guy.
But the
monsters in there.
True. But the interesting part I thought about the Beasley interview is because we see like Lamar Odom and we see like Delonte West. You see them when they hit rock bottom and where that you could visually see the elements of drugs impacting them. The guys I worry about even more are the guys who are quiet that you don't hear about, that just disappear from the game, who are busts and just disappear for like 5 years, and all of a sudden you get a notification that something bad happened to them.
Well,
and it's
that's Junior Seau, my brother. That's Junior Seau.
So that to me is the scariest part, because a lot of times we think so much of who's now that you forget about the guys who didn't make an impact in the league. Think
about Junior Seau. He's a Hall of Famer that was a leader on a team, and then obviously had these demons.
Right.
And he retires, and a couple years later, he kills himself, dude. I mean, and this is not a guy that had to deal with, I failed in the league and I was a bust. And, Jamarcus Russell, like, he has to live with that for the rest of his life, that he was a bust. Junior Seau is a decorated player, a guy that, my God, if you're a linebacker, you looked up to that guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. And people did. I remember.
Shows you the demons, man, sometimes because of the game, man.
Speaking of Junior Seau, it just brought up a memory to my mind. Kenny Stills, when he used to be a Dolphin, I remember having a conversation with him one day, and he said, "You know what? Everybody has role models. Everybody has like all these big name role models. A lot of times they're like the star of their position." He was like, "My role model was Junior Seau because he grew up in the same town I did." He was like, "It wasn't for anything that he was a player." He said he used to come around the neighborhood all the time and hang out with us kids, us regular kids. And he wasn't big time, and he was just a guy of the people, a neighborhood guy. And he was like, "I hope that one day I'm like Junior Seau for my community." And it was like,
he is.
And so you think about the impact that people have, but you also don't know what they're going through personally. So like Junior was giving all this out so that these people were viewing him as their role model, like Kenny, I'm sure, but also guys who didn't make it to the league. And at the same time, he's dealing with his own demons and struggling with this. And it's a lesson. And I don't know if you're a Christian or you're a God-believing person, but it's also
I am. Yeah.
It's a lesson in the Bible about like you can't pour from your cup when you can't pour from your cup when you're empty. So like the whole idea of you're pouring, and then you're empty. You have nothing inside of you because you're trying to give so much to everybody else. So a lot of those lessons come up when I hear this stuff. So we kind of went sidetracking here, but
it's good stuff, man.
Thought about that a lot when you're talking about Michael Beasley and Junior Seau and some of these guys.
Yeah, no, it's crazy with some of the stuff that they have to go through overall. All right, Cam, everything else looks like it's on hold until this move is either happens or doesn't happen, right? That's kind of what it seems like right now.
Yeah, I'd say Teron Armstead, that move will probably define how people view the Dolphins offseason, fair or not. I think that they've made a lot of moves. I think they've signed like 15 players.
Yeah.
They got better at running back. They got faster. They added some players, the receiver. They added Connor Williams. They added some good pieces, but they haven't added a great piece yet, right? So this would be their marquee signing. So I think a lot of people are waiting for this. I don't know if the Dolphins will be super active beyond this. If they do not get Armstead, I do still think they'll get a tackle, but it's probably actually will be somebody on the third tier market, a guy who's more of a veteran stopgap. Somebody who's probably a year or two fills in at right tackle, and you still need to eventually get a long-term replacement. So I still think they end up getting 2 new starters. It's just whether it's high end on Teron Armstead or if it's like a low end guy like a Darrell Williams who started for Buffalo at right tackle the last couple of years.
So here's, how screwed up it is. Like right now, I'll give them a C+, let's say, because I thought they filled a lot of needs that they had, and their scheme, they're filling also part of the things that they need for their scheme. So I like it. But if they get Teron Armstead, it goes all the way to an A for me. I'll skip B and everything.
Right.
Why? Because it's not just like what you said of the star that you really add the star, but you now solve the left side of your line.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. To me, that's an enormous, because I think it opens the door for Zion at 29. And I think that's what they're going to do. They're going to go, all right, we're going to really just solidify the crap out of this line. And then Dieter becomes your backup swing center guard, that kind of stuff. And that's what I think Austin Jackson becomes, your swing tackle, that kind of. Some of these guys then become, you know, your maybe a Solomon Kinley who's losing a lot of weight now. You know, maybe he sees what's coming. He sees the scheme. He's going to have to be able to move a little bit more. Solomon understands that. So somebody reached Solomon, and credit to Solomon, by the way. I when I saw that story, I said, that's an intelligent young man.
Oh, yes. Yes. You got to fit. You got to fit.
Yeah, exactly. What's going on? So I almost feel like the signing of Teron Armstead really becomes a domino effect to really fixing a problem that's been here for 20 years, dude.
Absolutely. I think we came into the offseason knowing that the offensive line was the biggest priority, right? And so let's paint this picture like you just said. Let's just say the Dolphins do close the deal. They sign Teron Armstead. You put Teron Armstead at left tackle. Connor Williams is most likely going to play left guard in that situation. Let's go in your situation where it's a rookie, maybe Zion Johnson at center. He competes with Dieter, most likely beats him out. He's your center, and Robert Hunt's your right guard. And then you probably have a competition between Liam and Austin Jackson for that right tackle spot. Probably, you'd imagine Eichenberg wins that job, but they're both first round, first or second round picks. So you're going to give them a chance. And whoever has the better camp is your starting right tackle. The other is your swing tackle for your left or right. And like you said, you got Dieter, who probably loses that job if it's a high enough rookie as your swing guard.
Can swing.
And then you have depth with the Kinley, and you got 8 deep right there where you feel a lot better. I don't know if this is this doesn't jump to a top end offensive line, but you're not the worst offensive line in football. You probably become
at least you have an offensive line that you can work with. At least you have something that your quarterback can work with now.
At minimum, you jump for the 32nd offensive line to probably middle of the pack. At minimum, I'd imagine. And then you're a team that can run the ball a lot better, a lot effectively, and you can protect Tua, which I believe is your goal. And then everything else ideally opens up, and you start to see what Tua can do. You can start to see what the running back can do with the speed. So I think that would be a successful offseason. The problem is the AFC just got a lot better. So, you don't know if it's enough, but I do think you do that, and your offense, which was your Achilles heel, at least gets a really good chance to be average and maybe more.
I agree. All right. So what do you got today? Animal Kingdom? Where are you going?
I'm in Jackson, Mississippi, man. There are no amusement parks.
Oh, what are you doing in Jackson? Is this family stuff?
Actually was here for Jackson State's pro day yesterday. So Deion Sanders down here, he had some guys. So we sent some cameras out here and gave them some love, some exposure. Did an interview with Deion Sanders for Network. As always, full of energy.
Did he show you his gnarly foot now?
He didn't, but he's got a lip. He's walking now. He is walking. He's got 2 less toes. He's got 8 toes. But he's walking. He said he's feel good. He's got a scooter, so he doesn't walk far, but he got a nice limp. So he didn't take his shoes off. That was a no-go. But he definitely is moving around better than I thought he was going to move around. But he's still full of energy, still himself. So yeah, I'm here for I'm actually driving out probably in about an hour or two. I'm going to head to Oxford for University of Mississippi's pro day. So I'm going to go see Matt Corral and some of those guys down there for their pro day.
By the way, how's his run for stadium going? Because I know they're trying to build Jackson State a new stadium. So what
they're working on it. He's there. I think it's still in progress. Nothing's set yet, but they've been raising a lot of money. Boosters have been sending a lot of money, and they've been filling up their stadium as is. So they're getting a lot of money from attendance. I think mostly SWAC schools are averaging about 10,000 fans per game. He had 40,000 fans in the stadium last year, averaging on a game. So they're making a lot of money in. So nothing's set, but I think they're trending towards that way. So
that'll be an amazing accomplishment.
And he's got some talent coming in. We saw Travis Hunter. He got the #1 overall recruit, and Travis Hunter coming out this past year he was going to go to Florida State, got him to come to Jackson State. He got his son, Shador, who's a quarterback who's supposed to be really good. He was a freshman this past year. I talked to him yesterday. He said he's coming out in 2 years. He's like, I'm not doing a senior deal. I'm coming out early. I'm gonna be a first round pick. So he already has that in his mind. It's been a long time since the HBCU had a first round pick as a quarterback position. So he could be done. I think Teron Armstead actually might be one of the last highly drafted HBCU kids that high. So Darius Leonard also was very high too. So it doesn't happen very often, but they're trying to build something here at Jackson State.
I hope whatever they call a stadium, get a sponsor, obviously, because you're going to make some money.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever the name of the stadium is, but it's on Walter Payton Field, bro. Please.
Yeah.
Please.
They already got their athletic facility is Walter Payton, but you can't have enough things named after one of the best running backs of all time. Some people would say
bro.
That. So I'd name everything.
Sweetness Field.
Yep.
Something like that. You know what I mean? Sweetness Field. Dion would love that, called Sweetness Field.
Right.
that would be awesome right there. All right. Follow him on Twitter at Cameron Wolfe and catch his work there at the NFL Network. And let's see if this Teron Armstead stuff ends today in this soap opera here. And Miami adds him. Cam, thanks for taking some time. Safe travels, my friend.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
You got it. There you go. Cameron Wolfe. We have unleashed the Wolf Pack.
This has been the KSDT CPA Pro Football Report with NFL insider Cameron Wolfe. KSDT is recognized by Forbes as one of the top tax accounting firms for 2022. KSDT CPA is a full-service firm that also excels in crypto. Visit them at ksdtcpa.com or call 305-670-3370.
All right, we're back. Appreciate all of you out there. As always, thanks to Cam Wolfe joining us. Eric says, Miami's defense is just missing a middle linebacker. Offense just needs Liam to take a step forward in year 2. Maybe you can get the Wisconsin linebacker in the second round. Kid's like 6'2", 260. He's a thumper. He'll hit you. He can run sideline to sideline. He'll be a second rounder. That might be a kid you can get. Get Zion in the first round. Move him to center, and then you get the Wisconsin linebacker in the second round. Sweetness was so great. Sweetness is the greatest. I love Sweetness. God, that was my favorite running back of all time. Favorite player of all time. Walter's the best, man. Ricardo Cuchican says, it drives me nuts how people are still denying Tua's future. Many of them have never read about great QBs failing their first 2 years then becoming Hall of Famers. It's all right. Plenty of quarterbacks start off bad. And sometimes, actually, he hasn't really started off bad. Considering the crap around him, he's done a pretty good job. That's the misconception that's out there with Tua. He hasn't been terrible. That's completely wrong. He's done a good job considering the garbage around him and no coaching. So now, if you get coaching and you get the offense fixed, like I said, you get that running game and that offensive line going, Tua will be just fine, bro. Get him. That's what he needs. He can pass the ball. He can figure everything else out. But he's not going to be able to figure everything else out if you're constantly pressuring him and, putting him on his ass. Fix the running game. Fix the offensive line. That's really, obviously, you need some decent weapons, but they had decent weapons last year. He could have played with the weapons he had last year. Even limited, he could have. This year, they'll be better, and he could be even better. Obviously, the better weapons, it doesn't get lost on me that, you acquired Tom Brady, but you add Gronkowski to a team that already had 2 tight ends. And you added Antonio Brown to a team that already had 2 exceptional starting wide receivers. You can never add more talent. And that's what they kept doing. They had Ronald Jones. They added Leonard Fournette. And they just re-signed them today to a 3-year, $21 million deal. That's why it was funny when, Joe Shad 2 weeks ago goes, well, maybe you can acquire a franchise quarterback, but you've got to give him a better line and running game. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. How come that doesn't go for Tua? So if you don't get – what happens if you give Tua a better line and a running game? What do you think happens then? It's just this thing is never, ever looked at the right way. It's never looked at fairly. And why? Because too many of you repeat what somebody else says. And since that person's wrong, you're just repeating what they say, and you're not really thinking for yourselves. So you just keep repeating what everyone else is saying. That's all it is. That's cool. Everything will come to light when it's all said and done. Kind of like, and listen, it took a little while for the Tannehill thing, right? Some of you still got fooled. And then eventually, I would imagine by now, after the performance finally this year in the playoffs, there can't be any of you left over that actually still think that guy can be a franchise quarterback, right? I mean, you really cannot be that dumb now at that point. Okay? I'll let you slide over the years that you got fooled and you didn't really understand the quarterback position and you actually thought Ryan Tannehill was real and all that kind of stuff. But, by now you kind of figured out that it was all Derrick Henry. And that kid can never, ever elevate anything. Ever. But, still some of you got fooled. So I understand how this rolls. So I understand the negativity to a certain extent for Tua. But eventually, you'll be proven wrong, and you'll see. But they never treat the kid fairly. But, some of you never treat the kid fairly. You're never looking at him the same way you look at others. Eric says, Bill's making some nice moves this offseason. Getting rid of Beasley and signing Crowder was smart. No, that's an upgrade. That's an upgrade. I'd rather have a Crowder over Beasley any day of the week and twice on Sundays. Duke pickup to go with Singletary was nice. Liked the O.J. Howard pickup, although O.J. Howard has been an underachiever. That's the one thing. I like O.J. Howard a lot. But I got to tell you something. For the time being, I've been dead wrong about O.J. Howard. And so has everybody else that liked O.J. Howard. O.J. Howard has never lived up to the hype that we thought. You want to go over his stats for O.J. Howard? Let's go over his stats. Let's see what his stats are over the years here in this league, right? Because he's been in the league, 4 years at least? 5 years? I think it's 4, right? O.J. Howard stats. Here we go. Boom. Let's pull up the stats. 5 years. Here we go. Last year, by the way, with Tom Brady, 135 yards. The year before, 146. 3 touchdowns. He had 6 touchdowns his first year with 432 yards. 3 fumbles. Lost 2 of them. He had 565 his second year with 5 touchdowns. He had 459 his third year with 1 touchdown. A fumble. Lost also. Last in 2020, he played, 4 games only, 146 yards, 2 touchdowns. Last year in 17 games played, 135 yards and 1 touchdown. I mean, for a guy that I thought was going to be a beast, I thought O.J. Howard was going to be a player, bro. You look at him, and he's on the all-runway team. He looks like he's going to be a monster. Has not ever been a monster. And maybe the light goes on now with the Bills. I don't know. But I have not. I can't tell you that I am impressed with O.J. Howard's career. I can tell you that I've been dead ass wrong about O.J. Howard. That's all I can tell you about O.J. Howard. If he shows up this year in Buffalo, then I'll tell you, I finally got it right, but it took 6 years for him to figure it out, which is, I'm just saying. It's almost, what it reminds me of a lot. And now I never believed in this kid, but some of you did. Not that you will ever admit it, those of you that did. But when Mason Rudolph was coming out, I remember some Dolphin fans wanted him. And I said to them, because I was never a Mason Rudolph guy, even in college, And I said, you guys only like Mason Rudolph because he's got a cool name. And I swear to you, that's what it was, because they didn't really watch him at Oklahoma. If they actually watched him like I did, and you would have never really wanted Mason Rudolph that badly. But I think that's what it is. And O.J. Howard, he's got a cool name, and you're still thinking that, but you didn't really follow his career so far. And so you don't really realize that he's done nothing for 5 years. He's just been a guy. Nothing special in O.J. Howard. And he should be special. He's got all the talent. It's weird. It's weird. So any of us that liked O.J. Howard, like yours truly, we just have to say, dude, you never showed up. Kyle Pitts had an underwhelming season, and now no Matt Ryan. Thought he would be a beast. Kyle Pitts is fine, Brooklyn Rob. It's not, that's a rookie year, screwed up season for the Falcons. Kyle Pitts is not the problem. He'll be fine. I'm not worried about Kyle Pitts. That's just a rookie year. Let's see. Crowder had 51 receptions, 8.8 yards, 2 TDs. Cole Beasley had 82 receptions, 8.5 yards, 1 TD. I'll take Crowder every day of the week and twice on Sundays. And he'll have a better quarterback now this year, Crowder, than he did last year. So he should be better. He's a good I wanted him here. You guys know that. I'm not going to change my mind just because Buffalo signed that. I'm going to try to downplay it. I wanted Crowder for our team. Instead of the Cedric Wilson kid that they signed, and maybe he's terrific. So I'll give them the benefit of the doubt on that. But didn't I tell you guys I would love Jamison Crowder in the slot and move Waddle to the outside? That's what I wanted to do. I like Crowder, man. I think he's a pro's pro. I really do. I like that kid. It's cool. I think my chat was behind a bit. I'm working. So, okay. Jason Myers. Let's see. Alex Smith has and will never win a ring no matter how good his team is. Why should the Dolphins invest in that when it's clearly a QB-driven league? Alex Smith? The hell are you guys talking about Alex Smith for? Let's see. Adam says, Kyle Pitts had a record day for a tight end against us last year, despite Coach Flo's vaunted defense. LOL. He was probably pissed that they passed him up, and he wanted to show him up. Rookie tight ends almost never produce. It's one of the more difficult positions to learn early in the NFL. I agree with that. Rookie tight ends do struggle a little bit at times. You're right about that. Anyway, so we got Armstead visiting. So far, I am not seeing anything on Armstead. Sean has not interrupted us to say, hey, we got breaking news. So far, nothing. All right, let's take a quick break. Let's get ready for hour number 2. At 11:30, Manny Navarro will join us. Let's get ready. Hour number 2 of the Big O Radio Show is next.
ready to purchase a new home loan or refinance the one you have, American Dream Lending will make sure your loan experience is easy with fast approvals and quick closings. With many loan programs and competitive rates, now is the time to turn your dreams into reality. Ask about special financing for veterans. They never charge an application fee, and you will work directly with one of their experienced loan professionals. Stop dreaming and contact American Dream Lending today, 786-802-1727, or online at adreamlending.com. When protecting your family is your priority, there's nothing more important than a roof above the people you love. Call Tommy B. Butts Jr. Enterprises.com, 954-735-9826 or 954-394-1411, and ask to speak to Tommy, the owner. They specialize in all kinds of roofs, led by their highly crafted, skilled, and professional roof mechanics. All of their previous customers have an opportunity to enter their bi-weekly drawings to receive free an exterior impact metal door. Please call for more details. That's Tommy B. Butts Jr. Enterprises.com, 954-735-9826 or 954-394-1411. Trust Tommy to fortify and protect what's most important to you, your family. The Big O Radio Show is looking for an experienced salesperson in the radio or TV business. The candidate must have at least 5 years of sales experience in the broadcast business over the last 10 years. Please email your phone number and resume to bigoradioshow@yahoo.com. That's bigoradioshow@yahoo.com. Looking for an aggressive person who can help our platform expand into many avenues in our business. Reach out if you are the person that's able to make the difference. The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyAccess.com, Media Group Inc., ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
The Big O Radio Show is brought to you by HialeahParkCasino.com. Enjoy simulcast racing, dining, a magnificent poker room, and a casino with the most popular machines on the market. OKCoin.com. Download the app on iOS, Google Play, or Windows. OKCoin.com with over 50 different coins and incredible staking rewards. Pallet Rack City. There's only one place to find the finest racks in the business. Pallet Rack City. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547.
The Big O Radio Show originates from the OK Coin Studios. Invest a little time and save big. Just set the recurring buy and pay, zero transaction fee after your first purchase. The Big O Radio Show is mastered by executive producer Sean Stanley from the OK Coin Studios. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
Hour number 2, we are back and ready to rock and roll. Yes, sir. Manny Navarro will join us at the bottom of the hour. Omar Kelly will stop by at 12:15, and then we'll talk a little Okie with George Richards at 1 o'clock. The Panthers are off till Thursday. They will visit the Canadians. Yeah. All right, it's a beautiful thing. What else do we have going on? Boy, South Beach getting out of control, huh? Damn, dude. See, the problem is this happened 30 years ago, right? No, 40 years ago, right? It was 30-something years ago in the early 90s. Very early 90s, late 80s, actually, to the very early 90s, 90, 91 or something. That's when Fort Lauderdale kicked off all the kids from spring break. But here's the difference where it's gotten now, it's at another level of stupidity. So when we were kids and we were partying in Fort Lauderdale, okay, so there were wet t-shirt contests. There were, all kinds of people drinking, having fun, all kinds of stuff. Maybe a fight broke out between two dudes. It was separated and everybody went their way. There were no guns. There were no knives. There weren't a bunch of people getting shot all the time. You know what I mean? There weren't people that were vandalizing cars and going through neighborhoods and destroying stuff like they're doing now. That's the difference. So eventually they'll just push all these people out. That's what they're going to do. They did it to us in the 80s, and it didn't happen to me because I was able to party freely in Fort Lauderdale. Remember, I was done in 85. So maybe 86 or something, I visited Lauderdale. 87, that's it. It was over. I never went back again because you grow up. You just can't keep doing that life. You know what I'm saying? But, like you're 20, 21, you're not really, living here. You're not really going to Fort Lauderdale that much anymore for spring break at that time. So it was one of those where they closed it down and they kicked the kids out. So they're going to do the same thing here because it's even worse. They're acting at a criminal level now because it's like, what do you need guns for? So amazing. They had to call a state of emergency over at South Beach now. Morons. Can't you just have some fun, bro? Have a couple drinks, get laid, and just go to sleep, man. That's all. Jesus. Like, the craziest thing that would happen is maybe people diving off roofs into the pool or something. It just, I don't know. Just weird stuff, man. What you see what's going on now, and it's just, it becomes more of a criminal element, right? Most of the kids there are trying to have fun, right? But then there's this percentage of idiots that just want to ruin it for everybody. Just enjoy yourselves and you can keep partying. If not, you're going to get kicked out. I'm telling you. It happened 30 years ago. They're going to do it again. They're going to kick you guys out. Guns are the biggest problem, no doubt, including on the road with just driving down the street, cutting off somebody, or arguing about a parking spot. Crazy stuff now, yeah. No, and they walk all over cars, and they just vandalize people's, just hardworking people that just parked their cars there and they're going to sleep, and then they come back and their car's all screwed up and dented and windshields broken. Oh, it's disgusting, dude. It's disgusting. They're acting like animals. That's all it is. I get it. In our time, we had a couple of drunken idiots and they kicked everybody out. Here, it's freaking criminals. That's the difference. It's criminal activity. Ours was moronic stupidity, and they got rid of us. Can you imagine? Now you're taking it to a criminal level? Of course. There's only one way to go. And by the way, you're going to have a curfew at midnight. Have fun kicking them out at midnight. Oh, man. It's too late for Collins. He signed with the Bengals. Oh, I don't know why you guys are even talking about this. Big O, they should have been locked down South Beach every other day. You hear something bad, just have a good time and go and get your ass home. I know but now most of those kids are trying to have a good time. Okay. There's just an element that's inside there that normally did not exist in years past. That's all. Now you have a group of idiots that want to go there and just be criminals and do criminal-like activity. And then you ruin it for everybody else. Because you could tell most of them are just trying to have fun. I mean, it's not like everybody's fighting and everybody's got guns. It's only a few people, but that's always what it is. It's always a few people ruining it for everybody else. Spring break and Memorial Day weekend used to be fun decades ago. Now it's over-policed and drunken idiot. Well, it has to be. Randy, they had 370 cops on the beach yesterday or the weekend, and they still can't stop it. It has to be over-policed. If you're going to act like a freaking criminal, you need police around. If you're going to pull guns out, you need police around. If you're going to be fighting, you need police around. If you're going to be vandalizing hardworking people's property or cars, you need cops around. So it needs to be policed heavily. And they still don't have enough police. I mean, what's the mayor's name? Gelber? Oh my God, that poor man. How do you sleep? That's the last job I want. The mayor of Miami Beach? Oh my God, I don't want that job. You can't pay me enough to be the mayor of Miami Beach. Okay? You can't, there isn't enough money in the world. I don't want to live that life. That's just aggravation, dude, the entire time being a mayor of that damn city. Big O, I find it ironic that the same people that are axed off the Tua train already are the same ones to say Russell Wilson now has the opportunity because of his team. Well, it's all right. Tua apparently doesn't need an offensive line or a running game or coaching, none of that stuff. I mean, why would he need that to win? Big O, you're wasting your time debating with the Tua doubters. They'll always find a flaw about Tua. Y'all wait and see when the season starts. Tua will be throwing TDs because of head coach McDaniel's offense and scheme. Thank you, Samuel. Appreciate you as always, my man. Thank you for keeping it locked here and supporting the show like you always do. And you dropped the Cash App. Thank you, Samuel. I appreciate it, man. Very nice of you. Very nice. Remember, if you want to get in on the program on the Welt and Rayom text line, 855-912-1056. That's 855-912-1056. If you want to get in on the Welt and Rayom text line, always appreciate it. Let me see, is Cadena online yet? Cadena is on OKCoin. It's not ready to be bought yet. It's at $6.17 right now. It's a hell of a bargain. I can tell you that. Cadena, let me see if I can tell you where it was before. Like now it's at $6, right? Let me first of all, let me see the latest with Bitcoin here, just to kind of keep you updated. 42,984. So it's just under $43,000 right now. And as for Cadena, okay, that's one I told you about here. Here we go. Okay, so its peak, where was it here? Its peak was $19.63 back on November 16th of 21. So a couple of months ago, it was over 3 times the value of what it was now. Hell, no, you know what? My bad. Hold on a second. It was even higher. It was at $23.22. So almost 4 times the value of what it is now. And eventually it'll get back to that point. I think it'll end up going higher when it's all said and done. I'm pulling for them because they're an American company. Big O, it's the same with everything. It's always 2 to 5% of people that ruin it for everybody, just like not everybody is a Tua hater, only a small loudmouth percentage. I don't know. I think I don't know, Jamie. I find it to be a large percentage of people that don't believe in Tua. I think it's more like around half. Seriously. Like half the people I think I run into, they're not Tua believers. Richard Jacobs says, my wife's aunt passed away. She was from Cuba, lives on 10th Street, 1 block off of A1A. Urban Weekend was a disaster for her. She was afraid to leave the apartment. Now it's all year round. Well, I mean, it's South Beach is a mess year round, period. You know, if you live in South Beach, you've got to be young. And yesterday, in fact, I was hanging out with some people, and one of the guys is young, and he lives in South Beach, and he's dying to get out. And he's like, it's too much. It's too much parking, everything. It's a mess. And, and I don't blame him. I don't blame him, but that's the only kind of people I think can live in South Beach or even in downtown Miami is young people, man, because it's so congested. And I just think when you get older, you kind of want some space and tranquility. And, I know I could not live in downtown Miami or in South Beach. There's no way. There's no way. I'd have to be really young and single to kind of have that lifestyle. Hunter Butler, thank you for the love in the super chat. He says if McDaniel feels some of these O-line and can get the job done this season, has to rejuvenate their confidence from last year. Yeah, that's part of the job. It's rebuilding the confidence for some of these guys and then making them feel like they felt before, like they can get the job done. And then you go out and have success, and then success breeds confidence in anything that you do. You're an artist and you finally draw something up that you love. That's what then all of a sudden lifts you up with more confidence. And you say, I can do it, and I can draw this, and I can do better, and I can do that. And, it's the same thing for a computer designer, designing websites, or if it's somebody that's putting together football teams, or if you're a teacher or whatever it is. Success breeds confidence. So part of it is kind of breaking everything down, showing them that the failure was not them, was everything around. And unfortunately, you've got the guy that was part of it around. Hey, it wasn't you guys. It was that guy there, Lampierre. Don't blame yourselves. It was that guy. Oh, sorry, Jean. That kind of stuff. So yeah, you gotta rebuild the confidence for all of them. Don't forget, folks, to smash the hell out of the like button. Very, very important to smash the hell out of that like button, okay? Let's see. Adam says, whenever I come down to visit family and friends in Miami, I avoid South Beach. Too much riffraff and too much of hassle, which is too bad because we have the best beaches in the country. Yeah, but you don't have to go there. Go to 29th Street, 30, 31st, 33rd, and you can stay away from South Beach. That's what I normally do. I go down more. I never go to South Beach. The hell am I going to go to South Beach for? Place is crazy, dude. The only way you're going to get me to go to South Beach is if I have to do something work related. That's about it. But as for me hanging out, never. Although I will say this, once in a while I'll come in through not the MacArthur, the where is it 112 goes through and it connects. What's the one that you go right into not Bal Harbor, but where the hospital is on the left side. What's the name of that? What's the name of that one right there? It's not the Rickenbacker, it's the next one. What the hell is it called? Julia Tuttle. There we go. Thank you. So when you go in through Julia Tuttle, it's a little less hectic. And then what I do is I take that immediate right and I go right into Lincoln Road Mall. And sometimes the wife and I will go have some dinner and walk Lincoln Road Mall and then get in our cars and get back out the same way. Not through MacArthur, but through Julia Tuttle. Or it's Arthur Godfrey? It's not Julia Tuttle? Rickenbacker? No, it's not the Rickenbacker. No, the Rickenbacker, that's the one by the Herald Building, or where the Herald Building, not that one. The next one. Okay. All right. I guess I'm confusing you. Okay. So then you've got the Rickenbacker. That is the Rickenbacker, isn't it? The original one. And then you got the next one. And I guess it's the third one. Off of 36th Street, right? Whatever. It is Julia Tuttle? Okay, whatever. Yeah, coming in from the north, it's a lot easier. Lincoln Road. Yeah, no, that's the only way I go. So it's Arthur Godfrey, whatever it is. You guys know which one I'm talking about. Okay? But that one. Okay? That's the one I use. That's the one I always use. I never use the original way to go in and out. Ever. It's not worth it. It's not. Plus, don't they even have like, oh no, they have it on the way out, right? The cop thing where what's that called? speed trap or whatever, or no, it's a DUI trap. It's not really a speed trap, a DUI trap. Not that that's an issue for me, but what the hell do I want to spend my time in a line waiting for any of that crap? Daytona Beach for spring break was fire back in the day. Thank goodness no cell phone cameras back then. Amen to that. Amen to that we didn't have cell phone cameras in the 80s. Wow, that would not be good. Rickenbacker is at the key. Julia Tuttle turns into Arthur Godfrey. There we go. See, Chris Delgado's the only one that knows what the hell he's talking about. The rest of us, especially yours truly, lost. I get it all confused. So what's the name of the one from the Herald building that goes right into the residential area? What's the name of that building? That bridge, that small bridge, the low bridge. The hell's the name of that building? Or that bridge there? After all these years, right? Like you hear the names, but now they're all confusing to me. Oh, Venetian Causeway. You are correct, sir. That is the Venetian Causeway. That's it. Okay. So Rickenbacker is the Key Biscayne one. Then the original one going into South Beach is what? What is it? Wait a minute. Chris Delgado. Okay, so Rickenbacker is the one in Key Biscayne. Julia Tuttle is the one that turns into Arthur Godfrey into the original South Beach, right? And then the one Venetian Causeway, and then the other one, how is it again? Is that am I right here, or I've got it all confused? So how is it all four of them? Notice now we went to four. Yeah, we should have been in the playoffs. He wasn't hurt because we had an easy schedule last season. I don't know what the hell that is all about. Samuel says, let's all wait till the season starts. Then we'll tune into the Big O show and we'll have a conversation on every game, win or lose. That'll happen either way. All right. What else do we have here that I want to talk about on the program? Let's see. I told you Leonard Fournette ends up signing a 3-year, $21 million deal, $11 million of it guaranteed with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now that Tom Brady signed, everybody is now coming back to the Bucs so they can make themselves another run here. We'll see what happens on all of that. So Fournette gets his 3-year, $21 million deal. The Heat last night. Oh, wait a minute. Before I get into Heat, let's get into a little Miami Hurricanes because Manny Navarro in our Canes Wear Miami Hurricanes report. That's next.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Canes Wear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Canes Wear, the spot where inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. Time for Canes fans to get what they want. Information, insight, and perspective. It's the Canes Wear Miami Hurricanes Report with Manny Navarro, exclusively on the Big O Radio Show. Here's Big O and insider Manny Navarro.
Alrighty, there he is, the man, the myth, the legend that is Manny Navarro. Follow him on Twitter at Manny_Navarro. Good morning, sir. How are you doing?
Doing great, man. It's beautiful, beautiful morning out here in St. Augustine where my parents are living. This is their new house, and just enjoying the breeze, the nature around, all these little birds. It's a beautiful time to be on vacation, man.
Well, enjoy the vacation. By the way, I'm going to be with your boy this afternoon.
Who's that?
John Ruiz.
Oh, you made the connection. That's very good.
Yeah. So
anything cooking?
I'm not going to say anything. I'm just saying I'll be this
All
afternoon hanging out with Mr. Ruiz at an event. So we'll we
Excellent.
shall talk. We shall talk.
Definitely let me know what's happening.
Yes. So you never know. You never know what is brewing on this show. That's for damn sure. As we continue the grind overall. All right. So on your vacation. So by the way, what is there to do in St. Augustine nowadays? Like it's
just a lot of touristy little stuff, man. Go and see the water, be by the beach, that kind of stuff. My daughter's birthday is coming up soon, so we're gonna take her to one of those little adventure parks where they've got the mini golf and the go-karts to ride around in, the arcades, like the one we used to have back in the day at the Mall of the Americas. What's the name of that place that used to have?
Damn it, bro. Yes.
It was one of the great ones, man. We used to have a blast down there.
Well, there was one. If you're old enough that they're off of the Palmetto and like 56th Street. There was one there too, a classic old time go-kart one. Mm-hmm. Obviously, the one you're talking about over by Midway Mall, mm-hmm. right? I forgot the name of that one. Somebody Grand Prix, I think somebody's putting here. Was it called Grand Prix?
It might have been. Yeah, but it was like a little fortress. They had a bunch of arcades inside. You could play the mini golf. Same concept. They got one of those up here still all these years later that exists. I think they call it
Grand Prix Racerama.
There you go.
That's
it. Used to have a blast on there, man. It was great.
Yeah,
great times.
Grand Prix Racerama. Adam Pinkster got it right. Yeah, that's it. Grand Prix Race. And then there was one off of the Palmetto, somewhere behind like 56 or something. Somewhere around Milan. What is it? Not what's that? Not Milan. What's that? Medley. It was by Medley. I just forgot the name.
That was the indoor place?
No. It was an outdoor place, and it was a classic. I'm talking about 40 years ago, dude. 45 years ago.
I'm thinking of that old whirly ball place. Remember that old whirly ball place close to to the airport? Yeah. That was another great sort of place to hang out with kids.
Hitchens Music mentions Castle Park.
There's another good one. Yep.
Yeah. That's a good one. That's
trip down memory lane, baby.
Yes, it is. Midway Grand Prix, Malibu.
There you go. Malibu. That's it. That's what I remember. Malibu. That was
Malibu.
The name. Yep.
Right.
Malibu Grand Prix. Yep.
Right. Sean Davis says, if you want Leo Chanel, you're probably going to have to get him at 29. I doubt he'll be there at 50. I don't know, man. I don't know. I think he'll be there at 50. I think he goes right around there, but we'll get to that conversation another time. All right. So let's get into Canes. Anything new outside of Jimmy Larrañaga advancing to the Sweet 16, which was,
hey, man,
that was fun, dude. They were relentless as hell, dude. I was so impressed with their defense and how active they were, man. That was fun to watch.
Think about how many teams play their kind of style, that small ball, just steal the ball, disrupt offenses in the paint when they're trying to pass the ball, just swiping the ball here and there, knocking balls out of people. They're so good at it, man. They're such a unique sort of team, and they don't need the three-point shot to win. They don't. They can still beat you with transition baskets, and so they're a fun and a unique team to watch. I watched most of the second half the other night against Auburn. I watched some of the USC game. I thought, this is a really fun Miami team. It's gonna be one of those that you remember for a while, and I think they're good enough to get to the Elite Eight, man. I really do. I think.
They're playing They're playing an 11 seed in Keith Sims, Iowa State, because I sent Keith Sims a text. I reminded him that his Cyclones are going down, but anyway. So they're playing against an 11 seed, so they've got a great shot at getting to the Elite Eight, dude.
They really do, and what's fun more than anything is that they've had three miserable years in a row, right?
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden, Miami fans get to rejoice again, and what a good coach Larrañaga is, and what the kind of job he does. With the transfer portal, being able to identify guys, that's so important in basketball nowadays, and this is only going to help them continue to get more of those guys to want to come here. In the years to come, they see what you can come in. A guy like Charlie Miller can come in and what he does. To me, let those guys continue to come in the door, because those are the guys that are going to take you places.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there. All right. Talk to us a little bit about what's been going on in spring practice. What are you hearing?
Yeah, back in full pads today. A lot of visitors. recruits coming in the building. Somebody who I know in the recruiting, takes these kids on different trips, messaged me, said, hey, there's going to be a whole bunch of kids here Tuesday from the 23, 24, and 25 class from all over the place, Georgia, North Florida. So a lot of visitors from a recruiting front. It's important time. You're in full pads. You want these kids to see what your practices are like. So I haven't had a chance to talk to any of the kids yet. They were there this morning, and I think they just finished wrapping up interviews with 4 of the assistant coaches. So I'd like to hear the feedback from the kids, what they thought of it, because it's important. This is where you win and lose in the recruiting game. It's when the kids are on campus, and how do they feel when they're there? What kind of impression do you leave on them? And, Mario's all about recruiting and getting this roster better. And, you want those kids to be impressed. So that'll be a big storyline. But outside of that, man, just getting back into the rhythm of things after spring break. I know everybody's sitting there. All my fellow reporters who I worked with for years are sitting there taking notes, sending out videos and, quotes from guys. But this is that time of year, where, you're really not going to get a lot because they just started in pads. Just started. So you need a few days of these. You need a couple scrimmages. You need to see who's hurt, who's not hurt. So I think by the end of this week, they practice again Thursday and Saturday. You'll start to get maybe, a little bit more information that's meaningful in terms of development and who's taking a step forward, etc. But today was the first day in pads, the first day they're really hitting, etc. So, we'll find out what by the end of the week, I think we'll have a little better idea. Hey, this guy's developing in this way, or this guy's out and he's going to be out longer, or whatever. Those are the kind of storylines that'll develop here in the next week.
Talk to me a little bit about Mitchell Agude, the UCLA kid that is visiting Miami.
Yeah.
What's the latest? He's 6'4", right? So edge rusher.
Yeah, edge rusher type. I think rotational type piece. Not a Jalen Phillips, not a guy who's going to all of a sudden rise to the first round, but a solid player, a guy that another veteran guy. Again, you talk about transfers and how they help. I think this is a guy that could help the same way. The kid from Tennessee did last year, DeAndre Johnson, where he was among your leaders in sacks. I think he had 4.5 or 5 sacks individually himself. That kind of a talent. I think he was there today watching practice again after his weekend visit. My understanding is he's got one more trip to Tennessee, and Tennessee's got that big budget that they're flaunting in NIL. So who knows what's going to happen? But I know Miami coaches liked him. I know that they felt good about him as far as their chances of landing him. So we'll see if he takes one more trip before he decides where he's headed. But he's visited 2 other West Coast schools as well. I think Oregon was one of them. And so we'll see. We'll see what the decision is. But he's been around.
I laugh because Tennessee is part of the SEC, and they've had an NIL type thing going for decades as it is.
Right.
It's just legal now. So all of a sudden now Tennessee's actually going to figure out the football part of it.
Yeah.
Last time I checked, your problem was when you fired Philip Fulmer, you never recovered from that ever again. So I don't know how the NIL fixes the football part of it. You know what I mean? So I kind of find that funny with Tennessee. That's all I'm saying.
Well, the whole story with the contract and getting the big time recruit and all that, we saw that finally happen this weekend when they announced the commitment, right? When the quarterback out there from California announced his commitment. You're right. It all goes hand in hand. If you don't have the head coach and leadership at the top of the program, these kids, no matter what they sign, no matter what NIL says, they're gonna.
The money's only going to make it worse. It's going to fill them up with crap in their heads, and they're not going to perform anyways. They're going to be a lot like some of the UM kids that you've been covering the last 10 years that walked in here with this sense of entitlement just because they put on the stinking helmet. Meanwhile, it's the guys 20 years ago that actually set the standard. A whole bunch of these kids just haven't met it. That's the problem.
Absolutely. But that's the tricky part of this all. I mean, schools like Tennessee have to use this NIL to get kids to come there because they're just not going to otherwise, right? They've seen the program struggle, like you said, since Philip Fulmer was fired. And, yes, you can come play in the SEC. I think that's the ultimate selling point for that conference is, look, you're going to play in the best conference. You're going to play in the conference that's on, that has all the big games, that has all the best players. But ultimately, for the best of the best kids to want to go to Tennessee, they're going to have to throw money at it. It's the only way it's going to happen. It's the only way it's going to happen for other programs as well that are struggling and not getting the recruits. Go back and look at the numbers, though. Our people at The Athletic have written this 1,000 times. Ari Wasserman, who's our national recruiting writer, more than half of the top 100 kids are ending up at the same 3 schools. So, between Ohio State, Alabama, and Georgia, and then Clemson when they're hot, or the core schools, the same 3 or 4 schools get the kids the best kids every single year. So this is what they have to do to compete. Miami, thankfully, has the coach that it needs in place, right? The coach that the players believe in, that they know he can be successful. He went to 2 Rose Bowls, won a Rose Bowl, won Pac-12 titles. He's back in Miami. Everybody knows he's here for the long term. And now you also have a guy like Ruiz who's doing these NIL deals. So you have sort of the complete package. Tennessee isn't there yet, and other schools aren't there yet. Miami's in a very good place to succeed, but still, you got to win on the field this year, man. You got to win on the field this year. You cannot have any losses to Duke or Virginia or any of these inferior teams, because that's what sets you back. That's what set Miami back for years. Losing those games.
And that's what it will tell the Canes fans. Oh no, we're not there yet again. And as if you start losing to those kind of teams, which is teams that you really never lost to, when you were an elite program, you never dropped those kind of games. Wide receiver Andy Jean or Jean decommitted. What's the latest? And what do you know about this story?
Well, first of all, Andy committed when Brian McClendon was here from Oregon. That's the coach he committed to. So let's face it, McClendon's at Georgia now. I'm sure he wants Andy Jean to go over there. And this is the kid saying, look, I committed to your program with a different receiver coach. Could very well be also that Gaddis has that spot in mind for somebody else. He's got his own guys that he wants to recruit, like a Jalen Brown, for instance, a kid from Miami Gulliver here locally who he prefers, in my mind. So, look, there's going to be the one thing you're never going to run out of in South Florida is wide receiver talent. I mean, every single year there are between 8 and 10 kids who sign with Power 5 schools from the wide receiver position. It's ridiculous. So to me, that's a position you're already really young at. A kid like Andy Jean wants to go to be with the coach who recruited him at Georgia. Makes sense to me that he decommits. It's early in the process. But again, Miami has there's so many great players down here. Brandon Innes, the 5-star who I was with on this West Coast trip to UCLA and USC, he's going to be visiting Thursday. He announced that last week. He's going to be visiting Miami's campus. I know the Canes are in it. I know they've got a chance to impress him. They've just got to impress him. He's the number 1 receiver in the country. So, yes, it sucks.
We should get him on the show. We should get him on the show.
You should get him on. Definitely. Get him on Friday, man.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's reach out to him.
Okay.
Is it his parents that became fans of the show?
Yes, it was his parents that I was in the car with.
Even better. Okay. Yeah. I got mom and dad, then I'm in.
There you go. You got to keep working.
Baby. That's it. Mario, I'm here to help you, bro. I'm your left tackle.
But again, decommitments this time of year, it's going to happen. And Mario at Oregon, there's times that they recruit kids, and if they don't like the way that they look their senior year, move on. It's the best of the best all the time. And but wide receiver, definitely. If you had told me, Manny, this was the number 1 offensive tackle in the country and he decommitted, I'd be worried. That'd be a bad sign. There's not a whole lot of great offensive tackles, but this is a wide receiver, dime a dozen.
Right. Okay. All right. What else are you working on? Are you working at all during your vacation?
I mean, I spent a week fighting over how we're gonna write this story. My trip to LA with my editors, and I had the feature story on Brandis that's gonna run soon. Brandon Innes, that's gonna run tomorrow. Then my other story is gonna run Thursday. So just a lot of waiting to run stories, man. I took the week off from doing podcasting. There was no practice last week. I didn't think there was anything to talk about. So I'll be back next week in person in South Florida to watch the 3rd week of spring practice when these guys are sort of in a groove. And enjoy my vacation. I got a trip to Hollywood Studios on Thursday. Friday, I'm going to be at Magic Kingdom. My daughter's going to turn 11. I got to be there for those things, So, and this is spring practice. I always just tell people, man, yes, this is kind of meaningless. There's so many guys that are out with injuries and stuff. And, that once they come back in the fall practice, I will not be taking any vacation for. That's important.
Right, yeah.
But spring, hey, the kids are on spring break, baby. You know, come on and see the folks. Do a little traveling to Disney. Maybe stop by the Fountain of Youth so I can get this gray out of my beard. Oh, I don't know, man. I got to do something.
Don't drink it. Don't drink it. Whatever you do, don't drink it, bro. I'm telling you, don't drink it. It'll go all white. Is what will end up happening.
I'm not gonna touch it, brother.
You'll be as old as Mr. Vespucci. And so no, that's not a good thing, bro. That's not a good thing. All right, follow him on Twitter at Manny_Navarro. More importantly, do what I do. Subscribe to The Athletic, and you can catch all of the coverage locally and nationally with Manny and other great writers that you never know you might see here on the show. Anyway, Manny, appreciate you as always. Thank you, my friend. We will talk again later in the week.
All right, brother. Take care. Enjoy Mr. Ruiz. Tell him I said hello.
You got it. I will. I'll talk to him today. You got it.
All right, brother. I'll see you.
Be good. There you go. Oh, the great Manny Navarro.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CS, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
All righty. Don't forget, you can always reach out to us on the Welt and Rayom text line, 855-912-1056, because sometimes the chat board there can get cluttered. Let's see here. We've got Big O. It turns out Duke Johnson got another offer, which he took. Allegedly, our Finns are tooling for a couple of big moves coming up. I don't know what. Hopefully, the Armstead move is the one. I don't think Duke was in their plans. It didn't look like Mike McDaniel looked like that was a fit for him. So he's looking for a different back. And I think the next back they add might be one in the draft. And it's a young guy that will be learning off of Chase and Mostert. That's kind of the impression I get, that that's the next move at running back, not another free agent that they would add. Big O, when Tua balls out, where are you going to smoke a Perdomo and drink some Edge while laughing all the way to the Super Bowl? Love the show. Your boy, JM Captain CA. Listen, I don't know where I'll go enjoy that victory cigar, but I'll light up a Perdomo 20th anniversary. And, you know, one place that I like going to is Smoke on the Water in Weston. That's a nice place to go to. I mean, there's several nice cigar bars in South Florida. Sabor Havana over on in Doral is a really nice place to enjoy a cigar. There's several places to go enjoy cigars. What's the name of the place off of Bird Road and like 70 by the train tracks, which is like 69th or 71st or something like that? It's just east of the Palmetto where the train tracks are. There's a smoke shop right there, a block off of Bird Road on the left side. I forgot the name of it. That place is a really good place to I mean, there's lots of places. I enjoyed a cigar the other day at by Dadeland, across the street from Dadeland. I forgot the name of that cigar bar there. That's a really nice cigar bar, and they have some outside chairs and all that where you can enjoy it. I forgot the name of that place. That's a good one there. There's several good places to enjoy great smokes, man. Prime in Brickell, Prime in Boca. Excellent places to enjoy a cigar. Who knows, man? Who knows? No Armstead moves yet. We have not seen it. And I keep telling you, the fact that it's this quiet is a good thing. I really believe it's a good thing. John Rouse says, hey-oh, little behind. Just saw you talking about the Grand Prix, LOL. Remember Waterboggin? Oh, yeah, man. Waterboggin off of the Palmetto and 49th Street. Yes. I used to go to that water boggin in Hialeah. The original water boggin was in Pompano. That was our first water boggin in South Florida. Then they built the one in Hialeah, which was right next to Tropical North Skating Center. Aha. Tropical North had the double poles in the middle. Tropical West, down on Bird Road, had the big columns in the middle. But both were giant rinks, unlike Midway and some of the other ones that were smaller rinks. I remember all of that. Let's see. Cuensas in Hollywood. Is that how it's pronounced? A cigar social club it's called Cuensas or Cuencas. I've never seen that place. I talked about Sabor, Havana, and Doral. Smoking, yes, dude. Any smoking is good. Most of the smokings that I've been to are really, really good. The one I've been to the most was the one that I went with 2 weeks ago when we were at the Perdomo event. That's the one that I've been to the most, actually, because when I used to work at 640 Sports, it was right down the street. And so there were times that I would get out of work, and sometimes I'd just go over to smoke in, relax, and enjoy a cigar there. I like that smoking. That smoking is really good. It's got the tall ceilings. It's comfortable. I like that place. Got great couches. That smoking is really good. Got a great atmosphere too. The guys that go to that smoking in Pompano, they're most of the time when you go to cigar bars, most of the people are pretty friendly and sociable and things like that. Eric Storm says, safe to say Miami drafts a running back in the second or third rounds. Even I think it's more third rounds or third to fourth round. I think the first and second rounds will not be a running back. I don't believe that. Let's see. Oh, you need to come to the Great Smoke event hosted by Smokin' in West Palm. Every vendor is there. Oh, what we should do is do our show from there. That's what we should do. That's something we got to talk to the event organizer. That's who I need to talk to, because that would be a great place for Sean and I to go up there and have some fun. When you're at Smoke on the Water, let me know. I live 2 minutes from there. I may have a different type of cigar, though. Smoke on the Water in Weston. I believe Jason Taylor is an owner. Yes, he's a minority owner there. I don't know if he still is. I'm not exactly sure about that, but I know he was. You are correct. Maybe he's not anymore. You never know. But then again, maybe you saw him there recently and you know he is or whatever. I hear Armstead only wants to sign with Miami if Teddy is the starter. Then I hear the Dolphins no longer interested in him. So, Alan, obviously you're listening to a lot of idiots. And then you follow what they're listening. You're listening to idiots, and then you're actually repeating what idiots say. Because think about how stupid that is. Anybody that would say that Teron Armstead's only signing if Teddy's the starter, what are you, like 10 years old? Are you like that freaking stupid that you would believe something like that? And then you're not only that, you then repeat it. Let's see. That goes both ways. If he tanks or loses his starting job to be an effing man, take the crap from us. It's got to hide behind a microphone and blocking a MFer. I don't hide behind any microphone, you schmuck. Friday, I'm at Craig's in Acura twice a month, moron. You got that? Twice a month. 15601 Pines Boulevard. Not hiding anywhere, dude. I say where I'm going all the time, baby. I certainly ain't hiding from you. That's for sure. Hiding. I'm at Caneswear once a month. I was at Smokin' in Pompano. Who's hiding? I'm here every day. And when you get blocked, it's because you're a schmuck. That's why. Understand that. But I ain't hiding, baby. You can find me everywhere. Wrong guy, dude. So you see where I'm at, tough guy? Okay? Friday, 15601 Pines Boulevard. Tough guy? You got that? Can you write? 15601 Pines Boulevard, Pembroke Pines. That clear enough for you? Hide. Let's go. Bring it. Hide. You want to piss me off, right? You want to piss me off. Schmuck. Hide. 15601 Pines Boulevard. Pines Boulevard. Pembroke Pines. I'll be there. Be there around 9:30 too. I'll take care of you in 5 minutes and be ready to broadcast for the next 3 hours. Big O, you know we would handle that for you. I don't need to handle anything like that, dude. Please. I'm a big boy. I can handle it myself. I love these kind of guys. And none of these guys are tough. They all talk crap. You know, hide. It's like, I say where I'm at all the time. I said out Saturday, where was I going to be? Culture Room. I'm there, dude. Somebody saw me. Somebody tweeted out. I forgot who it was. Hey, I'm here too, or whatever. And, you know, somebody saw me there. I was there. I wasn't hiding from anybody. Okay? There's no hiding here. The microphone is mightier than the sword. Oh, Lordy. Oh, by the way, did you see this whole thing? The sign-stealing letter from the Yankees about to be... I wonder how, Yankee fans will come at you with, well, we won 27 titles, 28 titles, whatever, right? 28, right, it is, or 27, whatever it is, right? So they'll come at you with that, right? So now, apparently, there is, let's see, where is it? There is a letter that they were trying to block, and because of the whole sign-stealing stuff going on that, the Red Sox went through it. So the Yankees were legally trying to block this thing, but unfortunately for them, and fortunately for us, the Yankees now, on Monday, court ruled that the letter sent to the commissioner's office about their alleged sign-stealing scandal is set to be released. So apparently the Yankees appealed the decision to make their damning letter public, but a court ruled that their request lacked real merit. The Yankees argued that the harm from unsealing the Yankees letter will rise because its content would be distorted to falsely and unfairly generate the confusing scenario that the Yankees had somehow violated MLB's sign-stealing rules, when in fact the Yankees did not, the court wrote. The argument, however, carries little weight. Disclosure of the document will allow the public to independently assess MLB's conclusion regarding the internal investigation as articulated to the Yankees, and the Yankees are fully capable of disseminating their own views regarding the actual content of the Yankees letter. But according to ESPN, the MLB still has not responded to a comment request, but when the letter becomes public, it will likely send shockwaves through the league, similar to when the Astros sign-stealing scandal. It is believed to take about 2 weeks before the documents are revealed. So, whether the Yankees did it or not, okay, I don't know. I'm not sure. We'll see what happens if they were involved and all that. But there was a Yankees fan that's on Twitter, and she was asking, like, wow, it's frustrating, the Yankees, and one thing I said to her, which I would say to you Yankee fans out there, which is pretty amazing, because you think about it, last 5 years, they lost in the World Series. They lost in the ALDS twice. And they've been in the divisional series also. So they've lost twice in the conference, twice in the divisional series, and in the World Series. So they're having success, but they haven't gotten over the hump since 2009. And in that championship, remember, George was kind of already, sick, and the kids were already taking over. And this was like the end of that run with those guys and all that stuff. And they were able to win that championship. Since then, they have not been able to win a championship. And now you're going to have this letter also coming out. But what I would say to Yankee fans, the one thing that's completely changed for you is George Steinbrenner. He's the only guy that in that family, because the rest of the family does not think like him. He did whatever it would take to win. Within the rules. He bought whoever he wanted. That was within the rules of baseball. Sure, they have advantages. We all know the Dodgers, the Cubs, the Yankees. Certain teams have advantages over the rest of the league because of the situations they're in, the cities, the markets, all that other stuff. We get all of that. But it's amazing for you Yankee fans that are like frustrated because you're so spoiled with 87 titles, right? You wonder if they'll ever get it back again. Because they spend, but do they spend enough? Do they get enough to get over that hump? And that's where Steinbrenner Sr., the old man, rest in peace. I'm not a Yankee fan, don't care about the Yankees or whatever. But that dude, you had to admire his maniacal approach to winning. That if you're a fan, you want owners like that. Look at Viola and Sifu. They may not act like Steinbrenner, but dude, they're maniacal about winning. Oh my God. They don't have the fan base. They don't have the history behind them. Their arena isn't even packed every night like it's supposed to be for the best team on the planet. And yet they're spending money like it's going out of style. You love those kind of owners. Those are fun owners. That when you're a fan and you're able to get a guy like that, and in our case with the Panthers, Mickey will spend, but, he'll always put the brakes on and, oh, yeah, no, let's not be a tax team for a couple of years and this and that. Certain guys would just spend and keep spending. He still is frugal to a certain extent. Like, he'll spend when he has to spend. When it's worth spending, he'll do it. So that he's a great owner in that sense. But he's not maniacal like what the Panthers are doing now. Those guys are spending. I mean, a lot. And they don't have the revenue streams that the NBA has. So it's impressive, man. It's super impressive what they're doing. But for you Yankee fans, you got to be feeling a little queasy, as Joe Philbin would say. Because your team, your franchise is not driven by the same guy anymore. And so it's almost like you really got to hope everything falls into place that you do, because you don't have the ownership group that is going to march on no matter what. They're the ownership group that is going to question some things, and they're going to try to find logic in everything. And that's not what George Steinbrenner did. He didn't necessarily have to find the logic in everything. It was all about the damn W. And it's just interesting to see, for those of us that are old enough, obviously, if you're young, you didn't really get to see George running that team, and now the family running the team. It is two different franchises, and the results speak for themselves. They have success, but not the Yankee success that they're used to. And you just wonder, how do they get back to that? And is there somebody in that family that is really going to push them over the top like the old man? Probably not. Probably not. All right, let's take a break. Let's get ready for hour number 3 here on the Big O Radio Show. What's it called? Omar Kelly will join us at 12:15.
With more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes, Welton Rayom is committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. They handle complex personal injury claims caused by the fault of another in both state and federal courts. They handle auto, trucking, motorcycle, slip and fall, and bicycle accidents. Call 954-966-4646. That's 954-966-4646. Welton Rayom can help.
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
The Big O Radio Show is looking for partners to join our growing platform. If your business is ready to reach an audience that starts in Florida, crosses the nation while expanding internationally, this is the program that provides that vehicle. The Big O Radio Show is ready to broadcast live anywhere in the world to represent your event or product. To reach out by phone, 786-754-4664. That's 786-754-4664. Or email bigoradioshow@yahoo.com. Help us grow as we provide the content and personal connection corporate entities will never achieve.
Folks, you can support the hardest working sports talk show in South Florida through Cash App or Venmo. Just search Cash Big O Show. Support us through Cash App or Venmo. Cash Big O Show. We thank you for your incredible support.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where Inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
The Big O Radio Show is brought to you by EJDConstruction.com, where you can trust their team of construction experts. American Dream Lending. Go to adreamlending.com. Stop dreaming and start living your best life. Perdermo Cigars. Experience a Perdermo way. Go to perdermocigars.com.
The Big O Radio Show originates from the OK Coin Studios. Invest a little time and save big. Just set the recurring buy and pay, 0 transaction fee after your first purchase. The Big O Radio Show is mastered by executive producer Sean Stanley from the OK Coin Studios. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
Number 3 on the program. Don't forget, we are proudly brought to you by Sloman's. Yeah, baby. Alarmo is ready to protect you and your family. They protect us. They're going to be protecting Sean, too. They're visiting Sean also to protect his home, folks. 1-800-ALARM-ME. And right now, we're going to give you a free doorbell camera when you call 1-800-ALARM-ME. It connects directly with your smartphone, and with your free customized home security system and professional installation, you get that when you use our low-cost central station monitoring. And we're going to get you an LED touchscreen pad, which is really easy to use, a motion detector, 3 arm doors, and a backup battery. You're going to love it, folks. You're going to love the service. The people are amazing. The installers are super patient. They walk you through it all, but it's so easy. If I can learn how to use the alarm, anybody can learn how to use the alarm. In fact, yesterday when I left the house, I got in the car with the wife, and I locked the door, and I got in the car, and I forgot to turn on the alarm. And so I got on the phone, turned on the alarm. You know, it's pretty cool. I told you guys that at times, I get out of the car and maybe I have too many. I know I'm going to be carrying a lot of things into the house and the alarm is on. So when I pull up, I'll take out my phone. I'll turn off the alarm. Then I'll get loaded up and walk in. And that way the alarm doesn't ring and I'm trying to balance everything and hit the code and all that. So there's a lot of convenience to it. And having control of all the cameras, people are at the front door. If you want to answer the door, like the other day, somebody was there they're probably going to sell something or some, I don't know, Jehovah's Witness or something. And I had no intentions on talking to them. I was fine sitting there with the wife watching the End Game, which, by the way, pretty good show, the End Game. And I said, I'm not bothering with that. So I let the two dogs on the other side of the door just bark their heads off. And I'm sure the person on the other side of the door was going, yeah, I don't want that door open. Because it sounds like there's two lions behind it, which that's what my two dogs sound like, lions. But anyway, so that's the beauty of Sloman's. And that's why we want you to call 1-800-ALARM-ME. Tell them that Big O sent you. The link is below if you want to also hit the link and go into it. Protect your home, protect your family. Get Alarmo, baby. 1-800-ALARM-ME. Let's talk a little Miami Dolphins football with Omar Kelly. For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. The Big O Radio Show is home for the hardcore Dolphins fan. That's why we give you Omar Kelly twice a week. Buckle up. It's time for the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins Report, exclusively on the Big O Radio Show.
There he is, Omar Kelly. All right, Omar, what the hell is going on? Why hasn't Teron Armstead signed already? What are you doing? What are you doing to stop this thing from happening? Huh? The hell is going on?
You know what I think it is? And this
I think it's good, actually. I think it's good, actually. Go ahead. I think it's good. The quietness, I actually find it really good.
I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem with it. I think more free agents should not be in a rush. I believe the tampering period, if I were to fix free agency, I would allow teams to begin conversations and discussions legally at the combine.
It goes on anyway.
It goes on anyway, which is why they literally call it the legal tampering period.
I know,
which is like, come on, man, like, what are we doing? But they really just do this just so that they can dominate the landscape of NBA and March Madness. Because Think about it. When is free agency? Right in the middle of March, right in the middle of the start of March Madness. Nobody cared about the announcement of the 64 or 66 seeds because quarterbacks were moving.
Right.
And that's just the NFL flexing their muscle. I don't have much muscle anymore. But if it were me, I would allow players to have this Monday through Wednesday moratorium to go visit teams, to go talk to teams, organizations, see if you want to play for the Joe Philbin. Mike Wallace told me his biggest mistake was that he signed on with the Miami Dolphins before he ever even had a conversation with Joe Philbin. And I said to myself, like, why the hell would I do that?
Yeah.
So if I were Teron Armstead, I would definitely be having a conversation, getting to know the people who are going to coach me and the offensive coordinator is a former position coach of his. And seeing what the city has to offer me. I think that New Orleans has a hold on him for whatever reason. Maybe it's close to home. He's an Arkansas Pine Bluff guy. New Orleans and Arkansas, kind of close in location. Maybe he's just grown and attached to New Orleans. I can't find if he has family members. He's got pictures of kids on his Twitter timeline, on his timeline of Instagram, but I can't find if he's married or he got his life on the DL, which I respect. But
he's an old lineman. A lot of those guys are low key. The linemen usually.
Yeah. What I'm thinking is maybe he has a wife and kids or a significant other, or is going to leave his kids behind to go play in another city. I wouldn't do that. I've been here as long as I've been here, primarily because of family. Right. So, we don't know all the circumstances and situations. What we do need to understand is that this is why Steve Ross does what he does and creates this reputation as a big bidder, because it gets him a seat at the table. The Dolphins have a seat at the table. They got a chance. They got to close.
Yeah, I think they will. I think they've wanted this guy from day one. And with Watson gone, I don't think he returns to New Orleans now. I don't think he has the same love, because in the end, he's in the twilight of his career. So
true. This is his money grab.
Right.
This is his money grab.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like you walk away with $45 million in guaranteed money. I'm not sure you're ever going to get another chance at getting the $45 million. You ever thought about that, Big O? How much $45 million could set you up? After taxes and after you pay your commission, you're probably walking away with 21. Like, think about how much $21 million can do for you.
Yeah, it'll probably be like 2, and then I'll give like my daughter 19, and just, I don't have that much time left. She's the one that's got all the time left. So
she can get it later, though, Big O. She can get it later. But I hear what you're saying. It's about
obviously, with that kind of money, you can actually set it up where you could just live off the damn interest.
Yeah,
really. That's really you can have that money work for you for the rest of your life. Instead, your life and your kids,
as long as you don't get a divorce.
Right, exactly.
Which is where most of them go wrong. Which is where I've gone wrong. Which is where a lot of us go wrong.
Yeah, I mean, it's most of America's that's happened to them.
Just don't get married.
My dad did it 3 times. So yeah.
No, he did not.
Yeah, he struggled. He struggled with the relationship thing. And
what order was your mom in?
First.
Oh, she was first.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yes, he then had 2 wives after that.
Hey, he doesn't want to live alone. And when you're
that's what it is. That's what usually it is. There's those people that you see that keep getting married, deep down inside, Kim Kardashian, they don't want to be alone. You know what I'm saying?
Kids now. She can be alone.
No, it still doesn't matter, bro. They still want to. Don't you see? She's now with Pete. She doesn't stay single very long. She finds a dude right away. Like right away, dude. She doesn't waste any time. So matter
what you love, Big O.
I know that, but there are a few of those out there that they're very comfortable on their own.
You've met those people, very few. One of the individuals who soothes my soul in the VJJ. If I'm hurting, I'm hunting.
Right.
That's it's a destructive behavior. But if I'm hurting, I'm hunting.
Right, of course.
It's not that I don't want to be alone.
But I get it, man. Everybody should understand that, dude. I mean, that's just, it's normal. It's normal, dude. And you see these people all the time, the ones that are in and out of relationships. They don't stay out of a relationship very long, and they get back in because deep down inside, they don't want to be alone. And that's my dad was that way, man. It's just, he told me one day, he goes, I don't want to grow alone, because after the second divorce, I go, are you going to get married again? Like, you're not very good at this. I told him, I said, you're not very good at this. And he was like, yeah, I know I'm not, but I don't want to be alone. And so
everybody needs somebody to take care of them, Big O. When you advance, that's why you get with the younger woman.
Yeah, most are like that. Most.
Yeah.
But every once in a while, you'll meet that one individual, man or woman, that they're solo and they're like, you know what, I'm good, man, I'm fine, or whatever. And you're like, damn, that's a pretty strong person that they're fine being alone. All right, so what would you put the percentages on closing this Armstead thing? Because I'm going pretty Michael Beasley here on this, and that's high, by the way, just in case.
Oh, come on! Did you watch?
Okay,
his
all right. I'm going Jennifer Capriati.
Did you watch his pivot? He had an amazing interview with the pivot, which is Channing Crowder.
Jennifer Capriati was better on grass than on hard surface.
Everybody's smoking some weed right now. She just did.
I know that, but
it was that time.
These are jokes that you had. They're
I heard it. I just, man, Michael Beasley is in pain.
I know, poor guy. And he's a nice guy, by the way. He's a nice guy. You know, he's a knucklehead. He did some knuckleheaded things, but he's a nice guy.
He's in pain, man. Pain. And I admire his strength. Like people don't realize what it's like to have family members repeatedly steal from you. And I can tell you there's a dozen athletes that I know that's happened to.
Oh yeah, ton of them. Yeah.
Like imagine your
what do you think was going on with Britney Spears and her dad, bro?
Yeah. Imagine
I gotta watch over her money. No, you lazy bastard. You want to live off her money is what it is. You know, that's all it is. That guy wasn't caring about Britney. But by the way, the best thing that ever happened to all of us was that Britney got her money because she's naked every day now on IG.
I still have not found her naked ever. And I follow her.
But she's naked. Well, it's little stars or something, but she's naked.
I don't see it. But anyway.
Oh, no, she doesn't look like she used to look. I get what you're saying.
I don't see it. She didn't come up on my timeline. I don't know why.
It doesn't come up on your timeline?
No.
That means your girl like blocked it or something, because it comes up on my timeline all the time. I mean, every moment I turn on Instagram, Britney comes up at one point or another naked.
I got other women who come up, but not Britney. I'm
gonna refresh here and see if I get a little Britney action.
She's older.
Although I did get Lala action. I got to. Lala Anthony is.
I mean, she's all right. Yeah, she's all right. She's matured. I like my fruit ripe. I mean, fresh, not ripe.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
She's a fine ass.
You seen Power? You watch Power?
On and off. I don't watch it like religiously.
Have you seen the Lala episodes of Power?
Yes, I have seen the Lala episodes.
Okay,
that's what I'm on.
That's
what I'm on.
Just making sure.
Those are the on episodes. Those are ones when I hear that Lala was, in full color. I was like, yeah, I'm tuning in. And so, yes, Lala. Hey, look, I ran into some guy on I Am Athlete.
There you go.
I like the jacket, by the way.
That's Carol City, baby. Represent.
That's a nice jacket. That's a really nice jacket.
Thank you.
You know what? And I'm scrolling, and now that I'm looking for Britney, obviously I don't.
I'm telling you, I don't ever see Britney on there. Like,
I do all the time. All the time.
I gotta look, man.
I also see Flavia.
I don't know what that is.
Flavia. Just Flavia Oliveira. Okay. Flavia Oliveira.
Okay. All right.
She's Flavia Oliveira is a good follow on Instagram. Let's see. No, you know that? Like, now that I'm looking for a Britney naked picture, I don't get it.
I'm telling you, I don't ever see Britney. I know I follow her.
No, this is typical. Like now, and when I get off the air, I'll open up IG and boom, there she is in all her glory. You know, this is terrible. This is just depressing. I was hoping that I was going to get Britney
but you know what? Britney's got to be in her late 30s now, And she has to still appeal to people as sexy, as attractive. How do you do that?
You do that.
Okay.
Right. Those are the things you do when you're on IG. She's like, I'm telling you, her IG, she has released the demons. See, there she goes. Now this is video of her IG, and then all you do is there she is, and she's like
rolling in her sand.
She's completely naked. Yes.
Oh, getting complete. Okay. All right.
No, she's completely naked, except for the bottom, of course. But yes, that's Brittany in her glory now. So we appreciate she got her money because she just unleashed the Kraken every day now on IG. Okay. So there you go. Now you got a couple of tips also on IG, Oliveira. All right. So what do you think about the Armstead thing? What is the percentages you put on this thing?
50-50. 50-50. I think that it comes down to money versus home. And
okay,
or do you want to relocate your home and your family? And considering about 40% of the league, I would say lives down here, if not in Tampa or Jacksonville area or Orlando area. I would say there's a good chance that you can. He's in the twilight years. He's got a good 3-4 years left in the NFL. At a high level, he can probably continue to. He's the thing about him is he's athletic, because usually I initially, when I started looking at his film, and I did look at it, and I looked at his film when he was coming back from a knee injury, which that's not exactly when you're at your best, but he was still a force. And what I like about him is he's not fat. He's not your typical looking offensive lineman. He's
a fluid athlete for a big guy.
He's a fluid athlete. Still owns the fastest 40 time for an NFL offensive lineman. So there's still that athleticism left over. I remember talking to Trent Williams when he was down here for an I Am Athlete shoot, and he was telling me and explaining to me what makes that O-line scheme work. And you're gonna need at least one 5-star premier athlete on that line. And that would be Teron Armstead. If it's not Teron Armstead, then you're praying, hoping, maybe, and I don't think it is going to be Austin Jackson. And it's not Austin Jackson. I can tell you that. Unless he comes back in. Austin Jackson wasn't in great shape last camp, and unless he comes back in phenomenal shape, which he should, because his career's kind of in the they just signed a replacement.
You're right.
So you need Teron Armstead. You need him on that line if you want to have a top 10.
And this makes their free agency. You kind of filled a lot of needs.
It's
and
the entree, baby.
And all that kind of stuff.
Entree.
Exactly. You are correct. You've had everything on the meal.
Porterhouse.
Yes.
Right now we're eating some sides, some lobster mac and cheese, some
porterhouse, lobster.
No. We don't even have that on the plate right now.
I'm saying he's the porterhouse. He's the lobster.
Absolutely.
He's that big ass dish that you're waiting for to finish off your meal. Yes, exactly.
Absolutely.
No, 1,000% with you, because having him, I think, kind of then it makes sense to everything else. Not having him, it just leaves a void, and you still what it does is it creates a big problem for you going into the season.
I will say this.
Probably what it does.
Having him and putting him on the field, that gives you one guy you don't have to worry about. You just have to worry about the other 4. And then I wouldn't even be mad at putting Mike Gesicki out there on the line next to him. He's that good.
By the way, Teron Armstead might be the guy that saves Austin Jackson.
How so?
He might be the young guy he might be the guy that says, "Hey, young man, You're doing fine. Do this, do
Maybe.
that. He might be the guy that helps reinstill the confidence in him and help him and teach him.
If Armstead,
And this is what Eichenberg and Jackson can finally lean on.
if you
haven't had one person to lean on that they can
Eric Flowers, they lean on him their rookie year.
He was here for 1 year. He wasn't here.
Exactly. I agree.
That's what I'm saying, that this guy's going to be here for at least 2 to 3 years.
But Austin Jackson played definitely drastically better with Eric Flowers next to him than he did without him.
But that's what I'm just saying, that those look, it's great to have better coaches, which is what I think they have in McDaniel and Frank and Applebaum. I would imagine these are better coaches for these offensive linemen. And I think the scheme will also complement them. But also internally, what I wanted for this team was a couple of veteran linemen, because you had way too much youth and inexperience around. And those guys need a guy that they can lean on. That's why when you had the unicorns, you had the other two positions. Well, but at least those two positions can look up to the other three guys.
Bushrod and what was his name?
Brandon and James.
Brandon Albert. Yep.
Yeah. And
Mike.
So
Mike.
Yeah, you had guys at least you can look up to and use as pillars, you know what I mean? And that's what they didn't have here. So Connor can help some of the guards, and certainly Armstead can help everybody on there, bro. You know what I mean?
If you have Armstead at left tackle and you have Connor Williams at left guard, Dieter, I mean, let's leave a mystery at center right now.
I think if they do that, I'm convinced they're going Zion at 29. Convinced.
Then you have at right guard, you can go Austin Jackson, you could go Robert Hunt, you could go
I think it's Hunt. Hunt Eichenberg is the thing I'm looking at.
I don't know if I want Hunt as my guard. I want Hunt as my tackle, because I
get what you're saying. But he's got the nastier streak at guard. So you use him at guard, you use Eichenberg at tackle, and Jackson's your swing tackle, and Dieter's your swing guard center.
They also have a young guy that they like a lot, a rookie who actually started the year started at the end of the year in Robert Jones.
Jones, yes.
Yeah, and they have Greg Little. Greg Little was really athletic in camp. Why they never trusted him? He was really athletic in camp.
I'll trust these guys.
Yeah.
Okay. So
why they never trusted
what
him?
They think of
like
Greg
I would have
Little.
played Greg Little at guard.
Right.
He was better than Solomon Kinley, and they never played.
Hey, to his credit, I saw that story where Solomon's working off the weight and
whatever. They said, hey, listen, they said the same thing last year, and then he showed up at 348 pounds.
But did you see the picture? You can tell he's already.
No, they did that last year, bro. You're not fooling me. I'm not being catfished again.
Give the man some
bro.
love,
They did this last year.
Working.
They did this last year. You're not fooling me. I'm not being catfished again.
No, but you saw it in that
no,
picture.
Instead camp, he came in at 348 instead of 360. Oh, geez.
So you're saying he's going to lose all the way now go back to the drive-through.
Solomon's a fat boy. He's not meant for this scheme.
You're a mean person, bro. God.
Bro, you're not making me fall for that Instagram. He's using one of those slimming apps that these women use to make themselves more attractive.
It's an article.
Falling for it again.
Somebody wrote the article and took pictures
of
him.
Two farts. He is a fat boy who will come in at camp over 340, and that's not good enough.
That's just not nice.
I would wager a week's salary he's coming in over 340.
That's just not nice. I tell you,
it's just the reality, bro.
You're mean, bro. You are mean. The young man is working hard. He's lost a lot of weight. He understands that in this scheme, he better be able to move a lot better.
Here's the one thing I've learned in 15 years of covering NFL. You do not give fat people who like to eat money because they're going to become fatter. You do not do that. So if you want to do it, go right ahead. But let's be real about it. Solomon Kinley, He's John Jerry 2.0. He never gonna help you.
Sponsor we add an extra meal to the day. Yes, that's true. That's true.
I only had a shake this morning. I'm trying to lose weight.
God, I want to lose weight too.
You've done it so many times.
I know, man, and I have not gotten that real motivation. That
man.
Bug that I get. Once I get that bug, then I get motivated and I lose the weight. I've done it 3 times, but I just have not. I am controlling what I'm eating. I'm trying to eat less, and trying to eat better, but I'm not there yet. I'm still not there yet. But it is what it is. All right. Does it look to you? Because I asked Poupart this. It looks like everything's on hold right now until this thing's done, right? One way or another with Armstead, because I mean, just doesn't look like there's any movement anywhere else.
What is there to do?
I don't know. You tell me. I mean,
go get an inside linebacker,
right?
Center, J.C. Trotter.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
I don't think they're going to do both. That's the problem.
They got money to do both. They got money to do whatever they want to do. Stop with that. They got
money. But I don't think they'll do both. I think they're only going to do
and they got to redo. They got to redo Xavier Howard's deal, and I'm sure they were trying to shake down Byron Jones and try to trade him. I don't think that's happening.
No, they're not. Yeah. And it doesn't make sense to guarantee him any money more.
Oh, his whole contract's guaranteed right now as of Sunday, I believe. I should have wrote that.
Oh, but for this year, not the whole. You're right.
Yeah. This is the last year's guarantee. Everything is opt-in after that.
Right, exactly. So that's why.
So if he doesn't perform, he's going to be cut. That's why
he's been fine. He doesn't give up a bunch.
Yeah. But he's not $14 million fine.
If they don't score on you, you're all right. You're doing fine. I get it. You want the guy that gets the
interception. No. He's fine at $8 million a year, not fine at $14 million a year.
You're not going to get a good cover corner at $8 million like him,
bro. I'm telling you right now. They tried to shake him down. Tried to make.
But that's what you do normally, bro. I mean, that's what you normally.
I know, but you media members make you seem like it's okay. They agreed to this contract. You honor it. Don't you have guaranteed money in this contract? You honor it. Don't sit here and we don't want to pay you.
All kinds of businesses try to finagle out of deals.
Listen, it ain't right. That don't mean it's right. That don't mean it's right.
Let's not make it sound like there's loyalty on either side or anything like that. That's not the case. Everybody does what's best for them, and that's what you should do.
And you know who does it the most?
LeBron James.
The players, the teams, 70-30. Rarely, there's a rare instance where a player can hold them to the fire.
Welcome to radio. They fire people left and right with no rhyme, no reason. People that are productive and bring in money and things like that, whatever, bro.
Hey, and then those people go and they build their own empire. Well, I'm still waiting for the project that you.
Not everybody can build it, but some of us can. But not everybody. By the way, the project you're talking about, I think it happened yesterday.
All right, let's do it. Let's go.
Yeah, wait.
I mean,
I love you media members that don't understand the business side of this.
I'm not going to lie. I don't know the business side of it. I just, I like my direct deposit when I get my direct deposit.
And everybody's getting their direct deposit. That's the beautiful thing. Okay. Everybody's getting their direct deposit, but there's a business side of it that I've got to handle. And it's, there's a process. To it all, you know what I mean? Unfortunately, but that's kind of part of it. But it's coming. Biggest Dolphin show in this town is coming. It's coming. We're going to be displaying it. It's going to be fun. It'll be an afternoon deal. But yes, it will grow, as they say. But everything. Hey, man, we've grown a lot in what is it? 9 months now? 9 months. It's kind of been. You say, I'm on this side, bro.
Yeah, I see your work. I see.
Yeah. All this thing together. This ain't easy, bro. This ain't easy, but this is fun. It's fun. It's good. It's good that we're doing this. All right. So after Armstead is let's say this doesn't happen,
Okay.
which I don't believe so. I think this is going to happen. But for that 1% chance that it doesn't, what's the next step for them?
I
Because the
think you go
Armstead
sign
law.
a Eric Fisher. You go sign a Dwayne Brown.
Okay.
I would kick the tires on J.C. Trotter because he can make the whole line better.
Yeah. He'd be awesome.
Last I checked, he was in this conversation with Minnesota. Nothing got done. Once you hit that 30-year mark, everybody wants a discount. Everybody wants to pay you like, your dented can. I get you 70 cents to the dollar.
Right.
So, I think you could be diligent. You could be patient. You could bring in Trotter and a meeting. What's Trotter? $4 million a year? $5 million a year?
No, more than that. More than that. He's a really good player, dude. It was only money in Cleveland.
All right. So why hasn't he found a job yet?
I think it's the same thing as Armstead. I think he's kind of
he's not in the Armstead ballpark. I'd be shocked if he
right now. If you need a center, he's the center.
Yeah, absolutely.
So he can kind of drive the market for himself right now.
What I say,
by the way, I think he gets more at around $8 million a year.
I promise. Let's see if he gets. My threshold for guaranteed money is $12 million. I don't care about.
I don't know about the $12 million guaranteed.
I don't care about what he makes per year in the fake money contracts that you people obsess about. Only the money that matters is guaranteed money, and $12 million a year brings him at $6 million a piece. $6 million a year. And I don't know if I would even pay that.
For him, I would in a heartbeat.
It's very easy to determine what players will get released in NFL contracts. If they're making north of $6 million a year, they either got to be performing like crazy, or the block is about to get hot. So I think that $6 million a year for Trotter, especially considering he's in the 30s, and the NFLPA president, which no organization wants to bring on their team. That's just the protocol. I would be shocked if he gets more than $12 million a year. $12 million guaranteed.
By the way, Bobby Wagner, everybody asks about him, and I know he's older than dirt at this point. And,
wow, he's been productive as hell though.
But he's a stud. No, he's a Hall of Famer.
I think, and I hear that.
But he's not a bad fill-in for 1 year or something like that to get by.
Why would he take a 1-year deal?
Well, I'm just saying, you're going to give him a 2-year deal because that's what Chris Greer does, but you're really only keep him maybe a year or something.
Now you give him a 3-year. Chris Greer gives 3-year deals. But 2 are real, 1 is fake. I don't think Bobby Wagner. I think Bobby Wagner is going to go somewhere where he knows he can win. And same thing with, a lot of
the Dolphins are going to the Super Bowl this year. How can he not win?
Same thing with a lot of the free agents. And I was having this conversation via text with Dono, who and he asked me, what do I think about Armstead is going to happen? I said 50-50, home or here. And I asked him this question: who do you want to play for, Tua or what? Tua, who would you want to play with as your quarterback, Tua or Mr. Crablegs, Jameis Winston? And his answer was Jameis Winston. I was like, on one leg, bro? And I was shocked. But I think it's at this point, it's a question that I think a lot of free agents are asking at this point. Especially the veteran guys, the older guys, they don't know what Tua is or what he can be, and based on they don't watch his games. They watch highlights, and they hear what the national media is talking about when Deshaun Watson's trying to steal his team. So, I think Tua has to overcome all that, and that's what the 2022 season is about.
Yeah, there's no doubt that it's about him, shutting a bunch of people up, and this season and proving a lot of people that are already doubting him wrong.
Do you watch those videos that his trainer perform?
Yeah,
is putting up, and I should go out there and look at it if I'm still around. I'll get around to it. But it looks better. Now it's not in pads. and when you're wearing pads, but they put a lot of work into strengthening his arm and improving his velocity. And I'm excited to see.
I think it's also about his core, where hip.
It's always been about his core. It's always about every quarterback's core.
But in his case, because of the hip, you're kind of rebuilding that, and this should be the year where he's got to be 100% or close to where he was at 100%. This should be the year.
You're not ever going to get to 100%. Right. According to my wife, who rehabs hips, the goal is to get at least to 85, and he should be close to there.
Yeah, and if he is, or better, then we should start seeing a better player out there physically.
Yeah.
Overall, and some of those exercises, like the one that he picks it off the ground and he throws it, that reminds you of the Mac Hollins throw that skipped, and so that was one where that's really good, because to me that throw skipped because he was coming fresh out of the pressure and he wasn't really completely set. And since he's not a big dude that has the kind of arm that he can just sidearm a 30-yarder for no, he can't do those kind of things that Josh Allen and Herbert and, the monsters, the guys that have the big cannons. He can't do that.
They don't have to do them. It would be nice if they did them.
No, but at that moment he needed it because he was coming off pressure and he's off balance. So you needed that kind of body. So if you're not going to have that kind of body, you always have to be fundamentally sound in how you're throwing. And I thought that's what that drill was teaching, is that he was picking up one ball immediately after another in running and then making sure that he threw an accurate pass in it. And if that happens the next time around, that ball gets there now because that's what you were practicing before.
Yeah. You should bring him on the show. You should have him come on.
I am. We are going to
not Tua, the perform dude. I forget his name.
We'll get his trainer on, and we'll get Tua on eventually too. We'll work on it.
You trust me. I
ain't going to put no limits on this show. You don't think I'll get Tua?
Listen, Tua's extremely guarded and protected.
It's fine. Okay.
Yeah. You know what? He did do radio. He did do radio once. We've heard him on radio once.
Well, he did Joe Rose, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, well, because they're always going to give Joe because he's the.
Yeah, they gave him because Joe, they like owed Joe 4 things, and he said, "Let me get to it." And it was like the end of the season 2 or something like that. It was very close. He had just come off his biggest win, and I mean, no better time to give him to it.
Well, I could get him now off his biggest win. He got rid of Brian Flores. That's his biggest win, bro. I mean, that man. I mean, Tua right now is like a guy that got rid of a terrible wife, a bad business partner. Listen. I don't know. You graduated and you moved on from the worst teacher you've had to deal with for a semester. That Tua is free now. His mind is now clear. He doesn't have that Brian Flores fungus among us.
Did you listen to the Teddy Bridgewater conversation where I'm not telling you what we talked about?
Yes. And that's a smart move by Teddy.
He's a vet. That's a vet.
Teddy doesn't want to feed the fuel to all the controversy because he knows it's there. 2, he's still a professional and he doesn't want to talk about himself as a backup because that's not a mentality he wants to carry. Not that he's not coming in with malicious intentions, but he's not going to come in with you just labeled me a backup. Even though that's his role, he knows it. He's not going to look at himself like that's the way it is.
I think this is Tua's team.
I read your article. This ain't no.
I didn't write any article about Teddy Bridgewater. Didn't write any. So don't put it on me.
You did write something about it being some kind of a competition or something.
I didn't write nothing. Not zero.
You sure?
I'm positive.
I read one in the Sun Sentinel.
No, not me. No,
like 2 weeks ago. You sure?
Positive. Okay. Don't write about quarterbacks. I don't need the drama.
Well, then it was Hyde then or somebody.
Listen,
okay.
what Teddy is gonna do is be a professional, work hard, learn the offense, compete, and what will be will be. But understand, Teddy Bridgewater has never lost a quarterback competition.
Okay.
Not that he's all world, but there isn't a quarterback competition that he's had in his career that he's lost. So
I completely understand that. He'll lose this one badly. He'll be the backup.
It won't be a competition.
It is what it is. And in the end, like I told everybody at the beginning of this show, if it gets to Teddy Bridgewater, the season's over anyways. So it doesn't really matter. I love Teddy Bridgewater, the backup. I love Teddy Bridgewater, the person. Teddy Bridgewater, the number one starter, is useless in the NFL.
Wow. He had a 7-7 record last year.
Brother, he went 5-0 with the Saints. He threw 9 touchdowns and 2 interceptions.
Yeah,
he had 2 complete seasons with Minnesota, 14-12 and 14-9.
You know what's
my point is no offense will ever be explosive under Teddy Bridgewater. Ever.
I don't know if I'm willing.
And he's proven that over and over and over again. He never puts up big numbers because he can't.
You know what? I'm very
the good Lord did not bless him with explosive opportunities with his body.
I'm curious why he didn't want to go to New Orleans or try to go to New Orleans.
No Sean Payton, probably.
Yeah, maybe. I mean,
you got Dennis Allen. You got a defensive coach.
He's home. He's home. So it is.
I don't think and Winston's home, so that's why he signed. But I don't. Winston it was 17-3 last year before he got injured. People don't realize that.
17 what? Touchdowns?
And 3 interceptions.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive.
I know that. And that's Sean Payton. So, that's the shame for Jameis because I don't know what's going to happen now. But Sean Payton was figuring out the enigma. Okay. So, but I get that. And that was like what, in 4 or 5 games? 6 games?
14-3. 14-3.
Okay. And
but
how
it's
many
still
games?
Pretty impressive.
No, it's awesome. It's how many games? 5?
102.8 quarterback rating in 7 games.
7 games. He kicked
That's
ass.
pretty damn good.
I know that, dude. I know. He kicked ass. He played well for them.
5-2.
For Jameis Winston, that's awesome football.
That's pretty damn good.
It's 4-1 turnover ratio, TD to turnover ratio, over 4-1. But I don't know how he'll do now with Dennis Allen. That's the problem.
Yeah,
and that's
they kept most of that coaching staff, so I don't think that Sean Payton is very important and is very excellent at his job. But but that's one hell of a coaching staff. That's like
they're a good team. That's a good team they have there. If they keep most of their people together, it's a good team, dude. You know what I mean? They're not a bad team. That's why they wanted Watson, because they're close. With Watson, they're a deep run playoff team because of that defense.
I don't know
what I mean?
Don't know about that.
Red Horse Adventure says, "Did you just call me an enigma?" I didn't know. James, Red Horse Adventures on the chat board says, "Did you just call me an enigma?" And I had no idea that Jameis Winston listens to the show. Yes, Jameis Winston was an enigma because when you're that talented and you throw that many interceptions, that's an enigma, my brother.
Bro, you know who their quarterback coach is in New Orleans?
Who now?
Ronald Curry.
Oh, wow.
Well, I did not know that.
But he was he the quarterback's coach last year?
Hold up now. Curtis Johnson.
Wait a minute.
Doug Marone. Oh, whoa! Wait a minute here. Where did Curtis Johnson go?
See, I like when Omar is catching up with the league on our show.
Well, you act like you know where Curtis Johnson went.
No. I was talking about the Jameis Winston stuff that you didn't realize he actually balled out.
No. Senior offensive assistant. What the hell?
Yeah. Yep.
Hold on.
All right, Omar, we now have George Richards in the batter's box.
All right.
So, what are you working on the Sun Sentinel so folks can check you out after you catch up with Jameis Winston?
I have absolutely no idea. Just no idea, no clue.
Okay, all right. Because
I'm on Toronto.
In the middle of this interview, if I'm still here, I'll go check out the Tua practices. Like that didn't go like unnoticed, just in case. So
listen, I've been more transparent with anybody. While I'm doing this show, I just got hit up. You know how contracts work, bro.
Right.
Like it's
all right.
You know how it's.
Oh, I get it. I just don't want to see you go anywhere. But all right. Okay. You still gonna stay with us?
Probably, maybe. Depending on what language says. Yeah.
All right. Follow him on Twitter at Omar Kelly. Catch his work for now at South Florida.
For a while.
Well, we for an undetermined amount of time.
For I will be here. Maybe I might be here for the whole year.
There you go. Maybe. There you go.
I could be here for forever.
Catch Omar Kelly while you can, right here on the program twice a week. All right. Omar Kelly. George Richards is next.
You've been listening to the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins Report with Omar Kelly. For additions, home remodeling, or custom work, call Eric at 305-433-4843. EJDconstruction.com is the custom home builder and general contractor you can trust. 305-433-4843.
Oh, great. You have a doorbell camera. Now you have a front row seat to your house getting robbed.
They're breaking into my house!
Ooh, there goes the TV. I'm sure it'll turn up at the pawn shop.
No, not the TV!
Just because you can see them, that doesn't mean you can stop them. With Slogans, you get 24-hour monitoring, a free home security system, and professional installation. Plus, free doorbell camera, one that'll actually work for you.
Get out of my house! Get out of the house!
Call 1-800-ALARM-ME.
Time for the Lockdown segment with Florida Panthers insider George Richards. This lockdown is brought to you by A. Lenny Locksmith Services. Count on them 24 hours a day. Go to the website at alennylocksmith.com. Here's FloridaHockeyNow.com insider George Richards.
Yes, baby, George Richards. Yeah, he's. Love it. The horn is in. Did that wake you up? You were awake already?
I was just updating my resume. I hear the Sun Sentinel may have an opening, so see what's going on there.
All right. That's how it goes here. Opportunities open up. When one door closes, another one opens, right? Isn't that the saying? Isn't that how it goes?
Yeah.
All right. The great George Richards joining us. By the way, you can follow him on Twitter at George Richards. And as you can see it there, FloridaHockeyNow.com. Subscribe. All right. What am I paying? $2 a month, $3 a month, or some ridiculous price?
Peanuts.
Like, seriously, dude. Come on.
For full coverage of the Panthers, and we're not talking about one story.
Kick-ass coverage of the Panthers.
4 or 5 stories a day, man.
Yes. So get your asses out there and subscribe already to Florida Hockey Now so you can actually subscribe to the best team in town. By the way, I don't think we talk enough about Vinny Viola and Doug Sifu's maniacal dedication to trying to win.
Yeah,
it still goes under the radar. Their arena isn't full for every game. We're not on the bandwagon as a town like we should be. We don't have like 8,000 people outside the arena of a packed arena watching the game outside, which is what I believe we need to turn that thing into outside, that deck or whatever the hell they call it, outside the stadium.
That's not going to happen.
They don't have any of that. And yet,
well, they're not at a downtown arena either. You have to,
I know, but
that's
they're
part of the problem with that.
They're paying for their players. They're buying more players in free agency. They're spending a world of money to invest in the community and their practice rink over at War Memorial. All of this stuff going on. They've really entrenched themselves in the community. I don't think we give them enough credit. We give a lot of love to Mickey Harrison, right, for what he's done and how he's dedicated. And even Stephen Ross is really a great owner in the way he spends.
Right.
These guys are spending and winning now. It's impressive, dude. It really is.
Yeah, well, when you look at Mickey Harrison, he's spending money that the Heat are making, right? When you look at Stephen Ross, he's spending money that the Dolphins are making. Vinny Viola's spending money that the Panthers are not making. Like you said, they're averaging like 14.5, 15,000. All the money they lost during the pandemic. The one comment and this was off the record, but I don't think he'll mind me saying this. When I was talking to Vinny Viola a couple years ago, and Joel Quenneville was on the market. He had just gotten fired by Chicago, and he was talking to me about hiring Joel Quenneville. And we were just walking down the hall of the arena. I go, Vinny, you know how much that's going to cost? I mean, that's like he's making $5.5–6 million in Chicago. George, I started my company with $500. Do you really think I care? He's worth a couple $2 billion now, and that's how he thinks. I mean, he doesn't care. I mean, he wants to win. He's dedicated to the horse racing thing. He's won the Kentucky Derby a couple years ago. He's won the Pegasus. He's the Breeders' Cup, all those things. He wants to win in hockey. He wants this Florida Panther team to be a Stanley Cup champion, and whatever the Panthers want, they're going to get. I mean, by yesterday they made a trade where they were the third team, so they were taking some salary on for a player that Carolina's going to. They're paying like $300,000 for Carolina to have a player because they got back a draft pick, they got back a prospect. That's spending money really for nothing, right? Because you're paying for Carolina, but you're paying part of that contract in real money. Right. You're spending. Right.
You are making an investment. You are getting an investment that you're making for the future too.
Sure.
And by the way, it helps that the dude that's doing all these decisions, like keeps hitting like home runs, like opposite field. You want a center field home run? Good. You want left field? Here you go. I'll put it in McCovey Cove if you want to. I mean, that's Bill Zito now. Bill Zito calls his shots every time. He's like Babe Ruth of GMs now. I mean, the guy's awesome.
But Bill Zito's got to go to the owner and say, here's what we're thinking. We're getting this prospect. We're getting a draft pick. We have to write a check to this guy playing for another team. Vinny has to approve that. And he's already paying for players not to play here. They're already paying.
But you got to trust that guy that comes to you. That's the thing. It's kind of
for sure.
If Viola had
to your point, this is a team that's spending money to better the organization, and it's and it's money that they're not making.
It's just so awesome.
Maybe they will. Really? Now you make a lot of money in the playoffs. This team makes a deep playoff run. They're getting 20,000 into the Sunrise Arena. They're going to be making some money, but they haven't seen it yet. So
I think that and I'm telling you, I think hopefully we get to that point where it gets crazy and they're even outside of the arena watching the game. You know what I mean? I'm hoping
that's harder to do in a stadium like that they're in because you don't.
Yeah, no, I know, but it's
you can do that downtown Pittsburgh because people all live there and they're just walking up.
Yeah. Although that arena,
if they get anything north of 19,000 in that building, they're happy. They don't
that would be awesome.
Or not.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
They might have one of those outdoor viewing things in Fort Lauderdale on the beach or something. That could be good.
That could, yeah. The good thing about that arena is that if you want to do that, there's tons of parking because you can park over at the mall if you have to. And then, man, the ingress egress in that arena, dude, there's nothing like that in South Florida. None of the stadiums, none of the arenas ever have that. You're in and out of that place so quickly. It is freaking awesome, dude. Okay, so it is convenient. You go to downtown, in any downtown, it's a pain in the ass to get in and out of downtowns. You know what I mean? So that's the one thing that I would say. Oh, I live in Hollywood. Yeah, we'll pop over to Sunrise. We're in and out. We'll have some fun. I think it's kind of that atmosphere. But again, I just got to give love to Sifu. Now let's get to Zito. I mean, this guy, dude. It's just, and what I love is the karma, because we sat here going, damn, Tampa's good, and now they have this advantage with the injury, and they're able to put the salary aside and all this and that, and we're bitching and complaining, and now, hey, man, it's our turn. So explain.
It's not 17 million like Tampa was.
No, it's
seven
and a half. But still, we still have an advantage. Okay,
listen,
so
the Panthers were going to lose players yesterday. If Aaron Ekblad doesn't get hurt, and for the viewer, for everyone out there that doesn't know, Aaron Ekblad goes on long-term injury because he got hurt on Friday night. He makes $7.5 million. That's $7.5 million by putting him on long-term. That money's off the salary cap. Florida all of a sudden goes from being over the cap to being under by $4 or $5 million. They were able to add a player. They were able to take on that contract from Max Domi from Columbus, now in Carolina. They could have made a couple more additions, but they didn't have the roster room, and they didn't want to take any player away. Bill Zito did not want to give up Frank Vetrano to the New York Rangers for a 4th-round pick. Very undervalued, but you had to do Vetrano right. Everybody in America in the NHL knew that the Panthers had to unload Vetrano's contract to make some things work. That was it. Now, if Aaron Ekblad got hurt on Tuesday and went on last Tuesday and went on long-term on Wednesday, Panthers probably keep Frank Vetrano because now you're under the cap. You don't need to trade him. But Frank Vetrano got traded before all that. The Panthers did not know that was coming. Aaron Ekblad is legitimately injured. I think, you guys went off on the Tampa Bay thing. Tampa Bay was not cheating. They were.
I never said they were cheating. I never said they were cheating.
Were saying that.
No. And I never said the Yankees cheated over the years buying all their players. That was under the rules.
But they were $17 million. They were $17 million over the cap, because we all knew those two players probably weren't hurt,
right? Or at least we all knew they would be healthy.
They could come back.
Right. We all knew they were going to be healthy.
Could be out 2 weeks and ready to come back, but he won't because the Panthers need his money. So
right. So now the Panthers were able to take advantage of that, and whether it's Giroux or what's it called, Hag, walk us through some of the players that they have acquired. And now with Ekblad out, dude, I mean, you added 3 defensemen now.
Yeah,
that kind of helps. I mean, last year they survived without Ekblad. This year now, and with the additions, you're going to be able to maybe thrive even without Ekblad.
Well, the difference is this year the Panthers' defense was already much better than it was last year when Aaron Ekblad got hurt in Dallas. Florida went out and got Brandon Montour, who's here. Excuse me. Gus Forsling has been in this system now for over a year. So Florida is a lot better insulated when Aaron Ekblad got hurt. Plus, they're entrenched in the playoffs, so no worries there. He's only going to miss the final 20 games. Or, and if he's healthy, he starts game 1 of the playoffs. We don't know that he will be, but that, if he is, he can start game 1 of the playoffs. Panthers already had traded for Ben Sherratt of the Montreal Canadiens. He's going to slot in either up top with Mackenzie Weegar on the top pairing, or he'll be down on the second line, either with Montour or Radko Gudas. So Florida's okay there. The big move Florida made, obviously, was for Claude Giroux, Philadelphia Flyers captain. That had been rumored for the past week or so that it looked more and more like Florida was going to get him. Again, as I was saying, that was a luxury item for the Florida Panthers. The week leading into the trade deadline, Florida needed the defensive help. They were able to get that. I was a little surprised Florida gave up the first-round pick for Giroux, knowing that Giroux was only coming to Florida, knowing that Giroux is a luxury. The Florida Panthers forward-wise are loaded. And now it's just, an extra cherry on the sundae with this guy. But they have the potential right now. That first line of Sasha Barkov, Claude Giroux, and Carter Verhaeghe or anyone else.
Right.
As long as you got Barkov and Giroux, you could
Right.
probably throw me out there on that left side and we'd be all right. That the Panthers would be okay, right? I mean, that is going to be extremely good. Today they were working on a 5-forward power play. You got Reinhart, Barkov, Giroux, Huberdeau, and Duclair on your power play.
Oh God. And man, and I can't, and that freaking Duclair pickup has been just a freaking monster steal, dude. God,
and
man,
Duclair, listen, Duclair is a very streaky player. We've known that. That's one reason why.
Yeah, but he's clutch also. He's streaky and clutch. The sumbitch scores when you need him. Okay,
that's what I'm saying. He lately, it hasn't been streaky. He's been consistent in Florida. Now that's one reason why Ottawa let him go, because he had 23 goals with Ottawa. 20 of them came before the All-Star break. Then he ended his year with only 3. That's how his career's kind of gone. Since he's been with the Panthers, much more consistent, especially this year. Anthony Duclair, you notice him every time he's on the ice. It's been a great move, and now he's been rewarded with the top power play.
Damn, dude.
And he's been cashing
money
in.
Player, bro.
Yeah.
Money player. At least that's the way I look at, and that's what Zito's done. He keeps adding guys that are just, man, they come. I mean, and you trade away a guy in Vetrano who, since he got here, he always was a key guy, a terrific role player, a guy that always was a terrific complimentary guy, getting a key play, key goal. I mean, that was a guy. It shows you how deep they are,
right,
when they can give away practically a Vetrano.
Right. And the only reason they gave him away because they knew the Sherratt deal was going on, and everybody in the league knew. Yeah. So, he's worth more than that. Yeah, he is worth more than that, but he isn't worth more than that right this second. It's like that scene in Trading Places. This watch is worth $1,500. In Philadelphia, it's worth $50.
Right.
I mean, right this second, you'll take what you can get.
Right. You got no choice. You got no choice. By the way, is that a Vero Beach hat?
Vero Beach Dodgers.
Okay. All right. I was like, damn, that's minor league. That's classic. I love it. Yeah. I love a little Vero Beach Dodgers.
My Vero Beach Dodgers, baby.
What are you working on FloridaHockeyNow.com, where people need to subscribe and read your 87 stories a day?
Yeah. Well, thank you, Orlando. Today we've got a big story up on the reaction about, just talking with Claude Giroux and Bill Zito about the Panthers and about that this team is not only all in, but they are a legitimate Stanley Cup contender. I mean, we've never seen a team like this in South Florida on the ice. You can talk about the 96 team and what a great story they were, but I've told you this, 3 months into the next season, they were already breaking that apart because it was a great story, but it wasn't,
no,
it wasn't a great team. This team, holy smokes, this is a team of all-stars. This is like a super band, when you're taking 3 different rock and roll bands and you're putting them all together. Hopefully they get some hits out of it. So anyway, FloridaHockeyNow.com. Tomorrow we're going to have a big story about Sasha Barkov and, what this means to him. And what the Florida Panthers going all in to help him out, because that's one thing Bill Zito said yesterday was we're finally putting someone with Barkov other than Jonathan Huberdeau, who Barkov doesn't have to try and carry, right? Barkov doesn't have to worry about helping out Giroux. Giroux's going to help him out.
Yeah.
And for the first time, like Barkov's like, I got all these options,
Right.
That's the thing. You could put anybody on the Barkov line and they're going to produce. And I think people around the NHL, general managers are looking at it like, oh, well, X, Y, and Z for Florida, those stats are inflated because they played with Barkov. Now you got Giroux, a 7-time All-Star, one of the top players, one of the top forwards in the league. Yeah, he's 34 years old. It doesn't matter. The guy can still play. He's still one of the top players in the game. And the Florida Panthers got him for Owen Tippett and a couple draft picks.
Yeah.
But they went out and got him. So
you do it. You do it. Now, let me ask you something. One more thing that I thought of that I wanted to ask you before I let you go here. Is there any thought that Zito's also thinking this? because I'm going back to the 90s and I'm going, okay, you talked about that team. That team couldn't score with a fistful of dollars in a whorehouse. So Beezer had to be super special every single night, right?
The rules were different then too.
Okay.
Most teams were
on
like that.
This team, nobody's playing like Beezer. Bob's not even playing like the Columbus that we saw against the Tampa Bay Lightning 4 years ago, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And he shut them out. He's not even playing at that level. So is Zito saying, I need to improve my defense because I've got the best offense in the league, but I've got to help my goaltending out to make sure, because there is a greasy goal that's let in every so often.
And Bob gave up those in Columbus, though, too. Let's not
Yeah.
forget, Columbus and Florida play a completely different style. And we said that, we talked about that when they signed Bob. I was like, listen, as good as Bob is in net, if the Panthers don't play in front of him, they're, you can't have a shooting gallery. And Florida takes a lot of risks. Florida takes a lot of offensive risks, and a lot of times it pays off. But when it doesn't, you see what happens. It comes back at you fast. I don't care what goalie you are. But I understand. Yeah, listen, Zito's old school in a lot of ways, in some ways. And one of those ways is you could never have too many defensemen. And he got two here at the trade deadline. Florida's got the two kids in Prisky and Kiersted down in Charlotte who can come up in a pinch. The Panthers right now have 8 defensemen on the roster with Aaron Ekblad as number 9 on the injured reserve. Then you got the two kids down below. The Panthers again it's like they've got a taxi squad again because they've got cap space. So they've got more defensive depth than they've had since last year when they had a taxi squad. So they're great. I mean, because you never know. You lose one or two defensemen, where are you? Well, now they got guys that can slide right in. You got the Hag guy kid from Buffalo who played with Gudis and we're going to do a story on him for Wednesday about how the first person they called was Gudis, and he says all Gudis did was start laughing. He goes, "You're going to love it here." This is the team. This team is a lot of fun. Bill Zito said that yesterday. He was like, it's not just that we're winning. It's not just that we're winning 6-1. He goes, people that watch the Panthers realize how much they care for each other, how much fun they're having. This is an exciting team, and it's a team people can get behind. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, man. I just want the entire South Florida community to get the buzz and get it going like we had it in the 90s because they deserve that kind of support.
You remember 96. I mean, it was
I covered
a zoo.
It.
Yeah. It was a zoo. And the Panthers.
I've talked about it. You walk out of the Pompano rink and there's 200-300 people waiting for autographs. I never saw that.
Right.
It's crazy, dude. You couldn't buy a ticket for the Miami Arena, man. It was a blast. That's still, to this day, it's still the most enjoyable time I've ever had as a beat reporter was covering that team. Because hockey
you can tell someone that didn't grow up here or someone that's new to South Florida when you talk about the 96 Panthers, and they'll be like, what's the big deal? They didn't win.
Right.
You know that, okay, you're not from here. You haven't been here. You're not, or you're just not old enough
you didn't
to
live
remember.
it.
The people that were here remember how important that was because it was like nothing we'd ever seen. An expansion team 3 years in playing for the Cup,
Crazy.
And then they're playing a Colorado team that the year before was in Quebec City. So it was like.
And they were loaded.
You had two basically new fan bases playing for the Stanley Cup. But
That's right. Follow him on Twitter at George Richards. And again, subscribe to FloridaHockeyNow.com. All right. And call our great sponsors, LennyLocksmith.com. If you are locked out of your home, car, you need a spare key, you lost your keys, LennyLocksmith.com, baby. It's the lockdown segment every week with George Richards and David Dwork. George, thank you, my brother. Appreciate you. Enjoy the hockey on Thursday, my friend.
All right. Thank you, Orlando.
You got it. There you go. George Richards, the lockdown segment.
This has been the Florida Panthers Lockdown segment, brought to you by A. Lenny Locksmith Services. Count on them 24 hours a day. Call 855-869-5625 or go to the website at alennylocksmith.com.
Big O says they throw rubber rats on the ice. There you go. Year of the Rat, 1995-96. There we go. Year of the Rat. I got my rat. Damn right. The hell's going on here? You gotta have a rat, man. Let's try this. So yesterday we had an incident at Poppy Steak in Miami, apparently. And Colby Covington was there eating. So apparently Masvidal got word and went over there to jump him. Cops went there, all that stuff. There's no video of an actual altercation. Don't know what kind of altercation took place. I got to tell you something. That was a terrible look for Masvidal. Came out with some video, and let me see. Do I have the video here? I don't know if I have the video. He came out with a video, and it's just kind of like weak stuff on his part. And I know Masvidal, obviously, you know, he's probably a couple sandwiches short of a picnic. So I know that this guy, you know, it says Masvidal held back from Covington after alleged fight, and video shows. So let me see if I can pull it up for you guys here and show you the video from TMZ. Will they tag us for a TMZ video, Sean? What do they? I don't know if they do or not.
Edit it out.
Okay.
Holy shit.
All right. So apparently here's the video. Okay, I'm gonna show you the video now. We're gonna play it. And this is the video of the exchange last night between the two. Okay, here you go. Let's play it for you. All right. There you go, George.
Holy shit.
So apparently, they were both stopped, or at least Masvidal stopped, and he then released some video after. Here it is.
Call this show your face challenge. What's up from Dade County? You talk that shit, you gotta back it up. That's how my city rolls, man. Call this.
So I got to tell you something, and I like George Masvidal. It's a terrible look for him. Dude, you got your ass kicked in the octagon. Colby Covington is playing your ass now. And you went to go chase him in the street, to go fight him, which is now you're about to commit a crime. And who cares how it rolls in your city and all that silliness that you're talking about. Colby Covington is smart. He'll bait your ass and then bring you in the ring again to make more money because he wants to get paid to kick your ass. He doesn't want to kick your ass in the street. He doesn't get paid for that. So Colby's handling business and personal the right way. Masvidal is acting like a street punk. And, I don't know who his trainer is exactly. But somebody's got to give him some kind of advice. And I get it. He's Latin, hothead. Most of us are. But this is a bad look for you. Just want you to know. You probably don't care what I got to say. And most people probably won't look at it this way because they're not thinking. They're just thinking about the silliness of the two, getting into a fight. But Colby Covington is the guy that is playing the game the right way. And Masvidal is getting played like a violin. That's a bad look on his ass. You got your ass kicked in the octagon. You got your ass dominated in the octagon. Be a professional. Get back in your training and go earn the fight again and try to beat him professionally inside the ring, because that's what you're paid to do. Why would you want to go chase him in the street where then it becomes assault and you end up arrested and now you end up with all kinds of problems? Be smart, Jorge. Use your head, dude. And if you're not going to use your head, somebody around him, educate him, reach out to him, walk him through common sense. Colby Covington, I get it. Jorge Masvidal is super pissed that he talked all that shit and he got his ass kicked in the octagon. So he's fuming. He probably hasn't slept a really good night since Colby Covington owned his ass in the octagon. But I guess nobody's going to tell him this, because probably the people around them are going to be afraid, which why wouldn't you be afraid of Jorge Masvidal? He'll freaking kill you. But somebody's got to tell him, yo, dude, learn how to play the game. And you look like a fool right now. You look like a street punk. The game is played in the octagon. The talking is done before you get in the ring. And by the way, Masvidal, he did all his talking and he backed it up and he kicked your ass in the octagon. There's nothing to hide. There's nothing to talk about. There's nothing in your city. No, nothing like that, dude. You look like a sore loser that is chasing Colby Covington because you're trying to make up for the thorough embarrassment you had in the octagon. Bad look, dude. Let it go. You're not acting like a professional fighter. You're acting like a punk thug. Now, if that's the game you want to play, then go ahead. You'll end up arrested, sued, poor, all of that, and then you'll lose everything you built up. Don't chase these people in the street, dude. You're above that. Become a professional and learn how to do it in your octagon. Learn how to do it in public. I get your frustrations. Bad look, Jorge Masvidal. All right, 855-912-1056 is the Welt and Realm text line. That's 855-912-1056 if you want to get in on the program. Tony says, the story behind the rats and Bill Lindsay killed the rat with his hockey stick in the locker room is the rest of the history. Nope, Tony Zagalis, you are completely wrong on that, sir. The rat was killed by Scott Mellenby. So they were in the locker room dressing, and at the Miami Arena, there was a little bit of a rat problem. So it was at halftime of a game, and they were in the locker room, and the rat came out, and Mellenby, with his stick, got the rat and slapsticked it right into the wall, and it died right there on the wall. So jokingly, they wrote on the wall where the rat hit, R.I.P. rat, and the date. And so then the story got out about Mellenby killing the rat in the locker room, and because the reporter saw the R.I.P. on the wall written, so he got the story. I forgot which reporter it was, and then the rats became the story. That's how the rats then started raining down after that story was told. But it was Scott Mellenby, my brother. There you go. You should all see Colby's sister. Holy crap, what a smoke show. Masvidal was pissed Covington was talking crap on his but that's JP, doesn't matter, dude. That's the game that's played. You know what I mean? Fighting him in the street, that's not going to get you anywhere. Mission accomplished by Colby. He's in his head. He owns him now. He owns him in the octagon and outside of the octagon. And by the way, words are nothing. Right? Doesn't Masvidal talk a bunch of crap too to Colby Covington? What's the difference, bro? Who cares? It's just a bunch of crap. It's like the scene in Roadhouse. What if the guy says, my mom's a whore? And Swayze looks at him and says, well, is she? Right? So, I mean, that's childish, dude. What are we? 12? What are we, 15, 18? Oh, he said my mom wears combat boots. Whoa, he says my mom this and my wife did. Oh, wow, dude. Whatever, bro. Please give me a break. That's Colby Covington getting in his head. And guess what? Masvidal has nothing for him. All you saw yesterday, JP, was frustrations. A man that lost in the ring badly, dominated by Covington. It was a boring fight. That's how much it was. I was, as you all know, I picked Masvidal. I was going for Masvidal, and Sean right away says he's got no shot. Covington's going to win because everybody knew Covington was the better fighter, and sure enough, he won. That was all pure frustration. The guy kicked your ass, and he owns you now. And the only way you can get back at him is by getting him in the ring. But guess what? Covington makes all the calls. He's the guy. You're not. So he'll decide if he wants to give you a chance. So now you're at his, at his discretion or whatever you want to use it, at his word. And it's kind of a spot that Masvidal does, a guy like that does not want to be in that position. That was a terrible look. I don't care what anybody tells you. Okay? And if Masvidal wants to, spin it however he wants and, like he did in that video, whatever, dude. You can go ahead and convince yourself of whatever you want, my man. But I would tell you, if I was your friend, don't ever do that again. That's a terrible look. You're acting like a criminal now. You're a professional fighter. When you fight, you need to get paid for it in the octagon. Period. End of story. Somebody's got to reach him, and I don't know, maybe nobody can reach the guy. Maybe not his agent, maybe not his trainer, maybe not his wife, maybe not his kids, maybe not his best friend. I don't know. Maybe his parents. Apparently, nobody's going to be able to reach a guy like that. So if he's not going to learn this way, he will then learn another way. And it'll be the hard one. Yeah, I hear Colby was dancing the dance with him. While I get the anger, going at him in public only brings him bad publicity. That's exactly it. That's what I'm saying. Jorge doesn't need this shit. He's got to grow up, dude. He's got a lot of growing up to do. Or if not, he's going to end up behind bars. And he's going to end up with, legal issues and all that. You don't need that, man. He has come from nowhere and made a life for himself. Be smart, dude. Be smart. Milk that life. Don't be about what you maybe were. I never knew the story behind the rat. Thanks. So, yeah, Mellenby created a crazy thing, man, right away. Living in Masvidal's head rent-free. Yeah, that's what Colby's doing. Colby also talked about whatever. Jermaine, dude, we're not 15 years old. Who cares if he talks about your family? Is it true? What are you, a child? Who cares, dude? He talks about your family, then talk about his and go back and forth. Are you not smart enough to come back with shots at him? Are you not witty enough? Not creative enough? Or is it that you don't want to hear from the guy that also kicked your ass? Which one is it? Let's sit down in the honesty chair. Is it really that he talked about his family? Or is it really that he's just talking after he kicked your ass and you can't take it? Which one is it, really? Let's go. There's 458 people here right now. Is Masvidal's anger really from Colby Covington talking smack about anybody in his family? Or is it just that Colby Covington kicked his ass and he can't stop him from talking? Which one is it? Is it the substance in the words, or is it the person with the words? Which one do you really think it is? Come on, man. Come on. I have too much age on these on these legs, in this mind, in this body to believe any of that garbage. And if he wants to use that as his motivation, he can use it as his motivation. But I know deep down inside what Masvidal's motivation was. Masvidal's motivation is deep embarrassment. He was convinced he was going to win that fight. And he talked it up like he was going to win that fight. And then when he thoroughly lost, not close one, thoroughly lost, he now can't stand the fact that that guy won and he gets to talk all he wants about it. Because that's how that game is played. So it's not about doing it in the street. You know, when Mr. T says, "Hey, woman, come on, you want a real man?" And then Rocky has to go train and get into the ring and beat it out of him. And then Mr. T's sitting there losing in the corner like Masvidal, and he can never say shit again because they shut him up. And guess what happened to Masvidal? They shut him up. They clubber-langed his ass. And so Clubber, all of a sudden, wanted to now get the only revenge he can exercise, street revenge. Not the way to go about it, bro. Bad look. Bad look. Sore loser, bad look is what it is. But, you know, how many people are actually going to say the truth and speak it? You're not going to get it from many people because they're just not going to look at it that way. They're going to look at the Neanderthal side of it. Hey, they almost fought. They almost went at it. Oh, yeah, Masvidal is such a badass. Covington's so awesome. This, now, oh, they're on there. Let's get an octagon right outside Mr. What the hell's the name of that place? Mr. Friskies or something, Mr. Steak or Sir Steak or Poppy Steak. Let's get an octagon outside Poppy Steak. That's what your radio shows are doing all across the country when they're talking about this. So, what can I tell you? By the way, I do have to mention this also. The demise of Urban Meyer is something that I enjoy. I gotta tell you, I really do. I have despised Urban Meyer since his days at Florida. I've never been a fan of that thing because I'm not even going to call him a human being. But one of the things that I've gone hard after this guy since his days at Florida, and you know, Florida fans and sometimes Ohio State fans and all that got all bent out of shape with me. And sometimes even some college football fans, because some of them are just Neanderthals and they just care about results and they don't care about what this guy is. So the fact that these stories come out now, that he had no idea who some players were, you know, things like that. And when you talk about like the greatest defensive player in the game right now, and you have no idea who he is. And let me read the article for you guys because it's hilarious. When it's not just Aaron Donald, but you look at it, and the Aaron Donald line is like, hey, who's this Donald guy? Apparently, we might have some issues with him, you know, because that's how it goes from the story. It says, who's this 99 guy on the Rams? I'm hearing he might be a problem for us. Like, he had no idea who Deebo Samuel is. He had no idea who Jamal Adams is. So stories are coming out, and that's the best part about all of this. Since he's such a scumbag, and so many people around him got to see who he really is, people will now come out and actually talk about it. So Urban, in his tenure with the Jags and his 2-11 record. So according to The Athletic, Meyer was unfamiliar with star players such as Aaron Donald and Deebo Samuel. Meyer said he conducted a 6-month deep dive on the NFL that included interviews with his former Florida and Ohio State players, as well as the study of the salary cap. But multiple sources said Meyer was unfamiliar with star players around the league, including Deebo, Jamal Adams, Aaron Donald, 3-time Defensive Player of the Year. And then the quote is, who's this 99 guy on the Rams? Meyer asked one of the staffers during the season, according to one source, I'm hearing he might be a problem for us. So I love the fact that all of this is coming out, how he treated people, the kind of crap that he, kind of crap human being that he is. So speaking of crap people, Michael Thomas, who played for him at Ohio State and has been an outright disaster at New Orleans, okay, even waited till deep into the offseason to have ankle surgery so he wouldn't even be ready for his team during the regular season. And he apparently has come out to defend Urban Meyer. He says, I feel like you all are just saying anything now about Urban. And the best part about it is that Urban Meyer, the only guy that can come out to talk about Urban Meyer is a guy that has an incredible, questionable character in this league and has done all kinds of things on that team. He's lucky that he's a really good player, so they've tolerated him. But Michael Thomas is not the guy you want representing you in any way, shape, or form in the league. So not that Urban Meyer would know. I mean, the report goes on to say that he thought black players from the South could not handle too much. I wonder if Michael Thomas heard that one too, It's like Urban Meyer, bro. Kicking players, threatening coaches, threatening players. This is one piece of work, dude. One piece of work. Urban Meyer. Terrible. All right, we are out of here. Don't forget, folks, if your business wants to be a part of our business and you want to be a sponsor, give us a ring on our business line at 786-754-4664. That's 786-754-4664. Only sponsorships, by the way. It's not for listeners or anything else, okay? So no calls are going to be returned for that kind of stuff, for silliness. No, but for business, that's our business line if you want to be a part of it. Sean Stanley, of course, mastering this program. We thank Cam Wolfe, Manny Navarro, Omar Kelly, and George Richards. We'll see you tomorrow at 8:45. We go a little early tomorrow because tomorrow's Wednesday, and we've got the Slomans Inside the Paint Show. Remember, Ian Rappaport joins us tomorrow at 10:10 with the look around the NFL. See you all tomorrow. Same time, same place, same bat channel. Have a good one.
This is the Big O Show.
Sports fans love a place with great food, cold drinks, and TVs everywhere. That's why sports fans love Sports Grill and their 7 amazing locations. Check out the Bird Road location at 11481 Southwest 40th Street in the back corner of the West Bird Shopping Center. Sports Grill is also now offering some great employment opportunities. All kinds of positions are now available from kitchen to hosting. Call for more information at 305-485-8845. From wraps to salads to amazingly delicious specialty dishes, Sports Grill is the home to the legendary special grilled wings. Since 1987, Sports Grill, good food, good drink, and good friends.
It's the Big O Show.